Chapter 532. Ningcheng noticed that the cultivator who helped him was a young female cultivator with a celestial gatherer cultivation. This female cultivator, on seeing Ningcheng looking at her, gave Ningcheng a smile and spoke. "I was just in the vicinity a moment ago." Lu Xiao and the other cultivators' exchange was clearly fake. In fact, his real goal was you. "I can prove it." With two people coming out to speak up for him at the same time, Ningcheng believed that it was definitely not a coincidence. However, when he saw Shen Qingyu standing outside the crowd, he immediately understood what was going on. The reason why these two people spoke up for him was not because they could not stand to see injustice, but because of Shen Qingyu. Lu Pingchuan obviously did not think that there would be people who would do such an offensive thing like testifying for others. Although he felt unhappy in his heart, he also knew that he could not force Ningcheng to go to the Seeking Tao platform to fight him. If Ningcheng had deliberately hurt someone, even if his cultivation was higher than Ningcheng, he could still force Ningcheng to go to the Seeking Tao platform. Now that Ningcheng was the victim, if he wanted Ningcheng to go to the Seeking platform with him, he would have to get Ningcheng's consent first. With someone testifying for Ningcheng, Wan Mingxiu felt slightly relieved. But then she saw Zhao Yinxiang and quickly called out, "Senior apprentice brother Yinxiang." Wan Mingxiu did not finish her words, but Zhao Yinxiang understood what she meant. It was because he knew Lu Pingchuan, and Wan Mingxiu wanted him to intercede. Zhao Yinxiang was also secretly cursing Lu Xiao for being trash. He was the one who stirred up this matter. When he saw Ningcheng here, he immediately thought of a way to teach Ningcheng a lesson. Even if he killed him, it would not have mattered. What he did not expect was that Lu Xiao, a celestial shatterer cultivator, would not be able to kill Ningcheng, a puny celestial novice cultivator. Now that things had gotten out of hand and Ruan Mingxiu was calling for him, he could only walk over. When Ruan Mingxiu saw Zhao Yinxiang, Ningcheng also saw Zhao Yinxiang. He just happened to see Zhao Yinxiang and Lu Xiao's instantaneous exchange of glances, and understood what was going on. He said that he had no enmity with Lu Xiao, so why did Lu Xiao want to kill him? So it was because of that trash, Zhao Yinxiang. Lu Pingchuan simply did not wait for Zhao Yinxiang to speak, as he stared at Ningcheng and spoke in a cold voice. "Since you can injure Lu Xiao with a single punch, then presumably you are also a powerhouse. Right now, I'm challenging you on the Dao Seeking stage. Do you have the guts to go up there?" All the people were staring at Ningcheng. This was tantamount to pointing at his nose and challenging him. If Ningcheng did not go up, then he would truly be a coward. The most important thing for a cultivator was their pride. If they were called a coward and challenged by someone and didn't dare to fight, it would leave a mark in their heart. The scene turned silent. All eyes were focused on Ningcheng, waiting for Ningcheng to answer. Ningcheng showed a faint smile before suddenly looking at Lu Pingchuan and speaking. "Surnamed Lu, if an undead powerhouse challenged you on the Seeking Tao platform, would you dare to go up?" How could Lu Pingchuan not know Ningcheng's thoughts? He laughed and was just about to speak when Ningcheng once again stopped him and spoke. "Lu Pingchuan, don't rush to answer. I have a fire origin crystal here. If you dare to agree, I will take out this fire origin crystal and invite an undead powerhouse to spar with you. It's the Dao Seeking, so of course I don't care about life or death." With that, Ningcheng raised his hand and raised a fire origin crystal. The cultivators at the scene, who were initially concerned about whether Ningcheng would accept the challenge or not, immediately stared at the fire origin crystal in Ningcheng's hand. The value of this thing was simply immeasurable, especially for fire-attributed cultivators. Ningcheng said that he would use a fire origin crystal to invite an undead powerhouse to challenge Lu Pingchuan, a puny celestial gatherer cultivator. A lot of people would definitely agree to it. Lu Pingchuan's expressions turned ugly to the extreme. He wanted to say that he would definitely agree to it, but Ningcheng took out a fire origin crystal, which was a completely different story. It meant that once he said those words, an undead powerhouse would immediately ask to challenge him on the Seeking Tao platform. Should he go up or not? This puny celestial novice ant turned out to be so ruthless, even daring to take out a fire origin crystal. At this time, not to mention an invitation. Even without Ningcheng's invitation, several undead powerhouses had already stared at the fire origin crystal in Ningcheng's hand. Obviously, As long as Ningqing opened his mouth, they would immediately challenge Lu Pingchuan. As for whether Lu Pingchuan agreed or not, it didn't matter at all. Lu Pingchuan took in a deep breath, stared at Ningqing coldly and spoke. An undead cultivator is 2 full realms higher than me. Yet you want me, a celestial scryer cultivator, to challenge a celestial river cultivator on the Seeking Tao platform. Do you still have any face? Ningqing laughed, cupped his fists towards the crowd and spoke. Friends, Lu Pingchuan just said that I want him to fight against a powerhouse 2 realms higher than me, which is shameless. I am in the celestial novice realm, while Lu Pingchuan is in the celestial gatherer realm, which is 2 realms higher than me. Yet he wants me to challenge him on the Seeking Tao platform. Is this not shameless? Does Lu Pingchuan have a thick skin, thicker than a pig's buttocks? The surrounding cultivators laughed, while Lu Pingchuan's hands trembled in anger. In fact, Ningqing was confusing the concept. Although Lu Pingchuan was 2 realms higher than him, they were both in the celestial scryer realm. However, the difference between the undead realm and the celestial gatherer realm was not just a matter of 2 realms. This was an essential gap. Even a peak celestial gatherer cultivator could not compare to an ordinary celestial bridge cultivator. Lu Pingchuan's complexion could no longer be described as livid. At this moment, he almost vomited blood. Since he started cultivating until now, no one around him could beat him. No matter where he went, he was always the proud son of the people. With such a person, how could he be Ningqing's opponent when it came to squeezing people? The surrounding cultivators also felt admiration for Ningqing. Using such means to resolve the challenge, no one could say anything about it. One could even say that it was flawless. The only downside was that it exposed the fire origin crystal. Shin Qinyu and Ruan Mingxu also secretly praised Ningqing's adaptability in their hearts. At the same time, they also felt a little worried in their hearts. After all, Ningqing had exposed the fire origin crystal. This kind of thing was an extremely rare treasure. As long as one was a fire-attributed cultivator, there was no one who did not like this kind of thing. However, Ningqing did not let go of Lu Pingchuan. He still looked at Lu Pingchuan with a sneer and spoke. In other words, you are a coward, and do not dare to fight against an undead powerhouse on the Seeking Tao platform? Lu Pingchuan clenched his fists tightly and stared at Ningqing with a murderous look. I am a coward, but aren't you also a coward? You also do not dare to fight against me on the Seeking Tao platform. Ningqing laughed and raised his middle finger at Lu Pingchuan. You're wrong. You are a coward, but I am not. When did I say that I would not accept your challenge? You are a coward who does not dare to accept other people's challenges. Don't think of everyone as the same as you. Remember, don't think of yourself as a genius in the future. Even if you are a genius, you are just a cowardly genius. Talking nonsense with people like you is just a waste of my time. Let's see the real deal on the Seeking Tao platform. After Ningqing finished, he turned around and walked towards the Seeking Tao platform. The people around him could not understand it at this time. Ningqing had already spoken so much, which proved that he did not need to step onto the Seeking Tao platform. Unexpectedly, after he scolded Lu Pingchuan as a coward, he still walked onto the Seeking Tao platform. Compared to the two, Lu Pingchuan was simply useless. Everyone knew that even if Lu Pingchuan defeated Ningqing, it would leave an indelible mark in his heart. Lu Pingchuan did not feel any joy from forcing Ningqing onto the Seeking Tao platform. Instead, he felt as if his heart was dripping blood. If he could, he would have swallowed Ningqing whole. Lu Xiao, who was still lying on the ground, on seeing Lu Pingchuan's appearance, felt his heart turn to ashes. He knew that he was in trouble. Lu Pingchuan was not only a genius from Shangmao Celestial River, but also a genius from the Lu clan. One could say that even 100 Lu Xiaos could not compare to a single finger of Lu Pingchuan. He was the one who started this matter. Ningqing's death did not mean anything, nor did he Lu Xiao's death. However, Lu Pingchuan could not have any problems. Even if Lu Pingchuan's Dao heart suffered a small mark, it would still be a major event for the Lu clan. After this incident, he Lu Xiao could no longer stay in the Lu clan. Thinking of this, Lu Xiao stared at Zhao Yinxiang viciously. If not for this bastard's provocation, how could he start a feud with a little celestial novice cultivator, like Ningqing for no reason? At this time, No one paid any attention to Lu Xiao's thoughts. Almost everyone had gathered around the Seeking Dao platform, focusing on the battle between Ning Cheng and Lu Pingchuan. Because of Ning Cheng and Lu Pingchuan's own words, the current Lu Pingchuan was clearly a cultivator without any guts. Ning Cheng, a little celestial novice cultivator, who dared to accept the challenge of a celestial gatherer powerhouse, was the focus of everyone's attention. Yuan Mingxiu and Shen Qinyu, the two people who were familiar with Ning Cheng, could not understand why Ning Cheng, after taking out the fire origin crystal to solve the problem, would still accept Lu Pingchuan's challenge. Zhao Yinxiang looked at Ning Cheng walking towards the Seeking Dao platform, and felt his heart turn cold for no reason. He suddenly felt that taking the initiative to find an opponent like Ning Cheng was not a wise thing to do. Chapter 533. Gij. Lu Pingchuan finally understood what was going on. This puny celestial novice actually dared to use body forging in a fight against him. Not only did he temper his body, but he was also on the verge of breaking through. Saying that, Ning Cheng not only did not bring out his magical weapon to resist, but rather operated his body forging cultivation method. His body tempering technique was also formless and invisible. Even in battle, he could still use it as he wished. He was sure that since Lu Pingchuan was known as a genius who loved to save face, even if he wanted to kill him, he would do it openly and honorably, and would absolutely not use any insidious sneak attacks. Besides, even if Lu Pingchuan decided to launch an insidious attack, he had the backing of his powerful domain, allowing him to avoid it in time. Whether it was because of the disparity in cultivation between Ning Cheng and Lu Pingchuan, or because of Lu Pingchuan's reputation as a genius, all of them were worth watching. At this moment, almost everyone in the Dao discussion venue had gathered around, wanting to see this duel between two realms of difference. Or rather, he wanted to see if Ning Cheng, a celestial novice cultivator who had almost caused Lu Pingchuan to spit out blood, had any skills, and whether he only had a sharp mouth. Ning Cheng gave out a sigh and was about to bring out the Nirvana spear to fight desperately when he heard a cold voice speaking up. Enough! Lu Pingchuan, you are a celestial gatherer cultivator and a celestial novice cultivator. You have already reached this point. There is no need to continue fighting. The Dao seeking platform of the Lucky Heaven City's Dao Discussion Assembly had always been relatively famous, and the number of cultivators dueling here was not small. It was not that there were no cultivators who fought on the Seeking Dao platform with a difference of 2 realms. However, there was no one like Ning Cheng and Lu Pingchuan, who had a difference of 2 realms, and who could not wait to kill each other. Blue veins popped out on Lu Pingchuan's forehead, while the number of invisible sound blade lights shot out from his symbols increased, and became even more concentrated. Each of these blade lights contained a vast amount of celestial essence, as they slammed into Ning Cheng's body. Ning Cheng, who originally wanted to bring out an ordinary spear, suddenly felt his heart move. He felt sure that his domain was not any worse than Lu Pingchuan's. It's just that he had not used it to its fullest potential, and was currently resisting it. Puff! Not waiting for Ning Cheng to twist his body, the copper symbol directly pierced through Ning Cheng's waist, as it rolled up an arrow of blood. At the same time that Ning Cheng was sent flying by the symbols, he also spat out a mouthful of blood. His meridians were broken in an instant, and he was severely injured. However, they were reassembled in an instant. If the striking order Starry Skies had 10 major geniuses, and Lu Pingchuan could rank 10th, then Tang Yu could easily rank in the top 3. However, that was not the main point. The main point was that this female cultivator had a powerful father, striking order Starry Skies eternal level powerhouse, Tang Yitong. Ning Cheng crazily operated the body forging cultivation method, constantly using this kind of attack to temper his corporeal body. At this moment, he could not wait for Lu Pingchuan's attack to be even fiercer and more violent. Lu Pingchuan stared at Ning Cheng sarcastically and spoke. I haven't even started, and you already can't do it? Then, when I unleash an even more powerful attack, will you kneel on the ground and beg for mercy? Don't worry, I will torture you well. A burst of sighs emerged. Although this celestial novice cultivator had some guts, the gap between their cultivations was just too big. He felt sure that in just a few breaths, this celestial novice cultivator would fall under Lu Pingchuan's hands. However, Lu Pingchuan's domain was currently binding him. Moreover, this domain was completely different from ordinary domains. Ningcheng felt sure that if he still had the same sea of consciousness as before, even if he advanced to the middle stage celestial novice realm, his domain would only barely be able to protect him from Lu Pingchuan's powerful domain. Lu Pingchuan's domain could suppress the other party's domain, and then penetrate into the other party's domain. Throughout the entire Dao discussion hall, only Lu Pingchuan and Ningcheng understood what was going on. Ningcheng did not want to fight anymore. He had just advanced to the grade 8 god body, and combined with the things he heard in the Dao-seeking public square today, he had already gained a lot. In this fight with Lu Pingchuan, he had already achieved all of his goals, so why should he continue fighting? As the symbol blasted out, a sound that made people feel uncomfortable burst out. "You're courting death." Lu Pingchuan no longer cared about slowly torturing Ningcheng. The symbol in his hand turned into a faintly discernible pale golden shadow that quickly flew out. In a flash, Ningcheng felt a force binding him, and the space around him completely squeezed. Ningcheng secretly cursed in his heart. He had fought against many cultivators in the celestial scryer realm, and knew that compared to previous fights, a starry sky cultivator's domain played a huge role. Ningcheng had indeed reached the point where he was about to advance. Although the surface of his body was badly mangled and looked extremely horrifying, the fact was that his corporeal body was quickly condensing into a small area, indicating that his injuries were not that serious. Or rather, for this kind of injury, he did not even need to use medicinal pills to recover at any time. Lu Pingchuan felt happy in his heart, and his attacks became even more intensive. He felt that this kind of torture to Ningcheng would allow him to win back a little face, and make him feel comfortable in his heart. Kaka. Ningcheng felt for the first time that under such a fierce attack, he had to use his domain to resist it while also crazily operating the body-forging cultivation method. This sense of crisis stimulated his body to the limit, causing his body-forging cultivation method to rapidly rise. Soon he reached the critical point of a grade 7 god body. Since his domain did not lose out to the other party, it was absolutely impossible for the other party to kill him in an instant. From this, one could imagine that if it were an ordinary celestial novice cultivator struggling under such a domain, the other party would have already quickly killed them. This fellow really did have a bit of a background. No wonder people called him a genius. Ningcheng was the first to feel the horror. After the sound of the symbols penetrated into his domain, he felt uncomfortable all over, and a kind of incomparable discomfort washed over him. The only feeling he had was that he wanted to vomit. Moreover, he wanted to vomit out all of his internal organs. Just when Lu Pingchuan thought that his domain had completely taken effect, a pair of symbols shot out. If that really happened, then Ningcheng could only rely on his spear skills and celestial essence to fight back. However, since Lu Pingchuan could stretch out such a powerful domain, how could his magical skills and spirit techniques be weak? Poof poof poof. Streams of blood continuously splashed out, and Ningcheng's flesh and blood turned into rags, dripping with blood. At this moment, Ningcheng's entire body was covered in blood, and even the audience could hear the sounds of Lu Pingchuan's broken bones. However, Ningcheng still calmly stared at Lu Pingchuan, holding a long sword that was only at the level of a true artifact in his hand to resist the attacks. Blood splattered and bones broke. Some of the cultivators in the audience stood on Ningcheng's side, and even admired Ningcheng's courage. Some of the cultivators could not bear to see Ningcheng continue like this. It was not because they were soft-hearted, but rather, how many of the cultivators here had not killed before? It was just that this kind of bloody torture was much more bloody than a direct beheading. Something was not right, something was definitely wrong. Lu Pingchuan had a bad feeling in his heart. However, he soon felt that something was wrong. Ningcheng's injuries were growing more and more, while his aura was growing stronger and stronger. There seemed to be a strange celestial essence fluctuation coming from him. What was going on? If this was not the strangest thing, then the fact that his domain had not completely crushed the other party's domain was the biggest surprise. I will let you understand what price you have to pay. After Lu Pingchuan stood on the Seeking Dao platform, he had already recovered his original calm, without any trace of impatience or anger. Ningqing knew that he was not an opponent against Lu Pingchuan, so he did not take the initiative to attack. Instead, he chose to evade to protect himself. He believed that it would not be easy for Lu Pingchuan to kill him. Lu Pingchuan knew that Ningqing was using him for body forging, and wanted to kill Ningqing even more. However, when he heard the voice calling for him to stop, he had no choice but to stop. This female cultivator was called Tang Yu, and he knew the identity of the other party very well. She was also one of the geniuses of Striking Order Starry Skies. However, her reputation was not something he could compare to. However, this was not the final attack. As the sound of the cymbals grew deeper and denser, invisible blade lights slammed into Ningqing's body. At this moment, Ningqing felt a sense of panic in his heart. He felt that he was too arrogant. Lu Pingchuan had wanted to torture him before, so he did not kill him. Now that the other party wanted to kill him, if he continued with body forging, it would only be courting death. The Seeking Dao platform was different from ordinary dueling platforms. The dueling platforms were for life and death battles, while the Seeking Dao platform was for disputes over Dao laws. As long as he fought for a while, he would take the initiative to admit defeat. Ningqing did not feel afraid to admit defeat. Even if he could win, he did not intend to win. This kind of limelight thing, Ningqing would never do it. At least for now he would not be so stupid as to do such a thing. The people under the stage saw the two sides clash, and Ningqing immediately bound by Lu Pingchuan's domain. Lu Pingchuan's first attack had already injured Ningqing. Moreover, Ningqing had not even brought out a weapon until now. The moment the symbols pierced through Ningqing's domain, Ningqing felt it. Ningqing felt shocked to find that he could not resist it at all. Even if he brought out his Nirvana spear, he could not block it. Unless he brought out the everlasting Blue Thunder City. However, he had to bring out the everlasting Blue Thunder City as soon as possible. It was too late now. Thinking of this, Ningqing spoke up with the same disdain. Everyone knows that you are a coward. If you have any means, then bring it out. Your grandpa is waiting. Lu Pingchuan's mouth curled up with a deathly killing intent, causing the surrounding space to tremble. He wanted to tear apart Ningqing's domain, and then kill Ningqing in one go. The next moment, Ningqing felt his bones begin to reconstruct, and his corporeal body finally advanced to a grade 8 god body. Ningqing was not an ordinary celestial novice cultivator. His sea of consciousness had already crossed the nirvana tribulation, and evolved into a starry sky sea of consciousness. Lu Pingchuan's domain could easily crush the domains of ordinary celestial novice cultivators and instantly kill the other party. However, it had no effect on Ningqing. No one spoke. At this time, almost everyone sympathized with Ningqing. Even Zhao Yanxiang, the one who caused this incident, had to admire Ningqing's guts for being able to hold on until now. Not only did he hold on until now, but Ningqing's injuries were getting more and more severe, but his killing intent was also getting stronger and stronger. Feeling that Ningqing could only stretch out a small space within his domain, Lu Pingchuan showed a grin. Did he think that relying on his mouth was enough? He had already made up his mind that if he did not make Ningqing suffer a fate worse than death, he would not be Lu Pingchuan. No, he absolutely could not let it go on like this. He was not an opponent against Lu Pingchuan. If he let the opponent attack him like this, he would die without a doubt. As blood spilled out, Ningqing felt his celestial essence rapidly diminishing, as if it would disappear in the next moment. After saying that, without waiting for Ningqing to answer, his surroundings turned blurry. The cultivators watching under the stage also couldn't help but admire Ningqing's guts. Despite being beaten to such a state, he still dared to ridicule Lu Pingchuan. Chapter 534. Although the name Tang Yitong sounded a bit awkward, within the Striking Order Starry Sky, Tang Yitong's name was extremely dazzling. Even Striking Order Heavenly Emperor had to give him some face. Not to mention that Lu Pingchuan was just a genius cultivator from Shangmao Celestial River. Even if he were the Shangmao Celestial River King, he would not dare to contradict Tang Yu in this place. What's more, Tang Yu's words were recognized by many people. Lu Pingchuan felt very depressed. Others did not know that Ningqing was using him for body forging. What the others saw was a celestial novice cultivator covered in cuts and bruises. He, a celestial gatherer powerhouse, Beating up a celestial novice cultivator to such a state was not something to be proud of. But how could he say such a thing? If he said it out loud, he would be slapping himself in the face. If others knew that a celestial gatherer powerhouse fought against a celestial novice cultivator, and that this celestial novice cultivator could use him to temper his body, what kind of genius would he be? Ningqing casually took out a robe and put it on. As he walked down the Seeking Tao platform, each step he took left behind a trail of blood. Ruan Mingshu hurriedly came up to support Ningqing. In her view, Ningqing's injuries were not light. Moreover, she had a vague feeling that this matter had something to do with her. Although Ningqing knew that his current situation was much better than before he stepped onto the Seeking Tao platform, he did not refuse Ruan Mingshu's kindness. From this, it could be seen that he was indeed far from being Lu Pingchuan's opponent. Moreover, the disparity was not just a little. It was obvious. Everyone had seen it. He was beaten up on the forum stage to the point where he couldn't even fight back. Lu Pingchuan looked at Ningqing's back, before his face finally regained its calm. At this moment, he no longer regarded Ningqing as a celestial novice cultivator, who did not know the immensity of heaven and earth. This celestial novice cultivator was not only far stronger than ordinary celestial novice cultivators, but also had a terrifying mind. He absolutely could not allow this person to grow, or else it would become his nightmare. But for Tang Yu to tell him to stop, he was even somewhat grateful. If he really killed Ningqing on the Seeking Tao platform, then he would be able to vent his anger, but his reputation would only worsen. If this news spread out, it would definitely not be a good thing to hear. He, a celestial gatherer cultivator, challenged a celestial novice cultivator, and ended up beating the celestial novice cultivator to the point of being covered in blood before finally killing the celestial novice cultivator. Others did not know about Ningqing's insidiousness. As such, he could only grit his teeth and swallow this matter. If he wanted to kill Ningqing, he would have many opportunities to do so. Moreover, this person also wanted to enter the Time Wilderness. Once he reached the Time Wilderness, he did not believe that he could not kill a celestial novice cultivator. Ningqing deliberately walked to the front of the female cultivator who had stopped him, cupped his fists and spoke. Many thanks to this senior apprentice sister for speaking up in a righteous manner. Otherwise, Ningqing would have died without a doubt. This female cultivator had only spoken a few words, yet Lu Pingchuan had immediately stopped. Ningqing immediately understood that the other party's background was definitely not small. Are you called Ningqing? Hello, my name is Tang Yu and I'm also going to the Time Wilderness. Tang Yu showed a slight smile, and did not speak much about the matter of standing up for justice. Ningqing quickly replied, Yes, my name is Ningqing. Tang Yu's appearance looked very ordinary. When she smiled, there were two small dimples on the corner of her mouth, which looked very warm and sweet. However, Ningqing could clearly feel that Tang Yu's strength was not any worse than Lu Pingchuan's. In fact, she might even be a lot stronger. Lu Pingchuan was already strong enough, but there was still someone more powerful than him. Moreover, this was just the striking order Starry Sky. From this, it could be seen that the Starry Sky's powerhouses were as numerous as the hairs on an ox. You're not bad. By the way, I also have a Fire Origin spiritual root. If you want to sell your Fire Origin crystal, I can take it back. When Tang Yu spoke, the smile remained on her face. Ningqing suddenly understood why there were so many kind-hearted people around today. It turned out that Tang Yu had also taken a fancy to his Fire Origin crystal. However, Tang Yu had spoken about the Fire Origin crystal in front of so many people, which meant that she was helping him. Ningqing had a lot of Fire Origin crystals on him. Even if he used one to buy the mask and gave one to Shi Yulan, he still had more than a dozen pieces on him. As for these Fire Origin crystals, he had no intention of selling them. After all, he also had a Fire Origin spiritual root, which might come in handy in the future. Now that Tang Yu asked him to buy a piece of Fire Origin crystal, Ningqing did not hesitate to take it out and put it in Tang Yu's hands. Thank you, Senior Apprentice Sister Tang. I was just looking for a place to sell this Fire Origin crystal. Now that Senior Apprentice Sister is willing to help me, it would be for the best. Tang Yu happily took the Fire Origin crystal that Ningqing handed to her and said, I don't know what Junior Apprentice Brother Ning wants. Celestial coins, weapons, or something else? Ningqing hesitated for a moment before speaking. I still have some celestial coins on me. I use axes and I want a good axe. If you have jade strips for the Tao of Arrays, the Tao of Alchemy, or the Tao of Talismans, it would also be useful to me. Tang Yu put away the fire origin crystal and smiled. I didn't know that you had such a wide range of hobbies. So be it, in 3 days, I will send these things to your residence. Many thanks, Senior Apprentice Sister Tang. Ningqing once again cupped his fist towards Tang Yu, and immediately left with Ruan Mingshu. Tang Yu did not ask about his residence. Ningqing felt sure that it would be too easy for Tang Yu to investigate his residence. Moreover, it was also a good thing that Tang Yu took away the fire origin crystal, which reduced the attention of others on him. Senior Apprentice Brother Ning, are you alright? It was not until Ningqing had walked far away that Ruan Mingshu finally found the opportunity to ask Ningqing. Ningqing smiled and said to Ruan Mingshu, many thanks for Junior Apprentice Sister Mingshu's concern. I'm fine. The Tao discussion has just begun. Junior Apprentice Sister can take care of herself, no need to worry about me. What about you? Ruan Mingshu looked at Ningqing with some worry. I'm going back to the rest stop to heal. When the time wilderness opens, Junior Apprentice Sister, just remember to call me. After saying that, Ningqing quickened his pace and quickly left the Tao discussion hall. Ruan Mingshu watched Ningqing disappear and felt some doubts in her heart. Initially, she thought that Ningqing had a serious injury. However, the moment she held Ningqing, she felt that Ningqing's injuries did not seem to be that serious. Moreover, she did not expect that Ningqing would even have a fire origin crystal. From the looks of it, she still did not know enough about Ningqing. She did not even ask about how Ningqing came to this place. From the beginning to Ningqing's departure, Shen Qinyu did not say a single word. Returning to his residence, Ningqing cleaned himself up before continuing to sort out his gains. Now that he had advanced to a rank 8 god body, those seemingly serious injuries were nothing compared to a rank 8 god body. During the battle with Lu Pingchuan, Ningqing had not made a single move except to resist. However, he still benefited a lot from it. Lu Pingchuan's powerful domain had allowed him to reach a new level of understanding of domains. He believed that as long as he went into seclusion to sort out his gains, Ningqing's domain would eventually become complete. This made Ningqing even more convinced that fighting against opponents who were more powerful than him would allow him to grow even faster. It was just that time constraints prevented Ningqing from going into deep seclusion. He did not know when Tang Yu would send him something, nor did he know when the time wilderness would open. Tang Yu did not let Ningqing wait for long. The next day, she arrived at the rest stop where Ningqing was staying. Greetings, Senior Apprentice Sister Tang. Towards Tang Yu, Ningqing was still very polite. No matter from which point of view, Tang Yu had helped him a lot. Tang Yu walked into Ningqing's room and looked around before speaking with a smile. No wonder Junior Apprentice Brother Ning wanted a jade strip for the Tao of Arrays. It turns out that Junior Apprentice Brother Ning is a Grade 1 Celestial Array Master. She had already noticed that Ningqing had arranged some array formations in the room, all of which were Grade 1 Celestial Arrays. Ningqing felt slightly surprised in his heart. This was a true genius. From Tang Yu's words, he understood that Tang Yu not only had amazing strength, but also had a higher understanding of the Tao of Arrays than him. He could only achieve this with the help of the mysterious yellow formless. However, Tang Yu might not necessarily have such an achievement. Before I reached the celestial scryer realm, I learned array formations from my master for a period of time. Therefore, I only have a superficial understanding of array formations. Ningqing spoke modestly. Tang Yu giggled. Junior Apprentice Brother Ning, you are not being modest. Although you are a Grade 1 Celestial Array Master, you still have a superficial understanding of array formations. Generally, only Imperial Array Masters who can arrange Grade 4 Celestial River array formations are qualified to say that they have a superficial understanding of array formations. From this, it can be seen that Junior Apprentice Brother Ning has just arrived at the Starry Skies and does not know many of the rules. Ningqing's face also turned red. He had thought that he was being modest, but he did not expect that in the ears of others, he was not being modest but boasting shamelessly. You don't have to be embarrassed. You have not studied systematically. It's already amazing for you to have this level. I am also a Celestial Array Master, and I'm currently a Grade 3 Celestial Array Master. We can exchange pointers with each other in the future. Seeing Ning Cheng's embarrassment, Tang Yu did not continue to joke with Ning Cheng. After that, she took out 2 jade strips and handed them to Ning Cheng. These are the Starry Sky Tao of Alchemy and the Starry Sky Tao of Arrays. The Tao of Alchemy is the Real foundation, but the Tao of Arrays is not necessarily the foundation. My father is a Grade 7 Emperor Array Grandmaster, so he has a better understanding of the Tao of Arrays. Tang Yu then took out a palm-sized axe and put it in Ning Cheng's hand. This axe is called the Wishful Demon Axe. It is a middle-grade Tao artifact that my father left for me. I will now give it to you. As soon as the axe fell into his hand, a heavy feeling washed over him. Coupled with Tang Yu saying that this axe was a middle-grade Tao artifact, Ning Cheng understood that his fire origin crystal could not be exchanged for so many good things. He quickly declined. Senior Apprentice Sister Tang, this is too precious. My fire origin crystal is not worth this much. Tang Yu smiled. Ning Cheng, a middle-grade Tao artifact might be precious to you, but it is nothing to me. Moreover, among the things I gave you, the most precious thing is not this middle-grade Tao artifact, but the jade strip for the Tao of Arrays. You will know about it later. I asked for your fire origin crystal on the spot. First, I really need this thing, and second, I want to help you. I think that although your cultivation is low, I appreciate your character. If you don't mind, then we will be friends from now on. Tang Yu spoke so openly and honestly, which was to Ning Cheng's liking. He no longer remained polite and put away all the things Tang Yu brought and said, Tang Yu, we will be friends from now on. Tang Yu, on hearing Ning Cheng not call her senior apprentice sister, giggled and said, Okay, see you later. After saying that, she turned around and quickly disappeared from the rest stop. Ning Cheng took a while to activate the restrictions. This Tang Yu really was straightforward. She did not tell Ning Cheng about teaming up in the desolate domain, nor did she leave behind a communication pearl. However, Ning Cheng felt that Tang Yu, whom he had just met twice, was more reliable than Ruan Mingxiu. It was a complete intuition. Chapter 535. Bang! With a dull sound, all the spatial restrictions around Ning Cheng turned into nothingness. Ning Cheng looked at his surroundings that had turned into nothingness in surprise. His domain had finally made substantial progress. Obtaining the enlightenment from Lu Pingchuan and Suo Qiaoye, Ning Cheng also integrated his celestial river flame into his domain. The celestial river flame hid within his domain, making it invisible and traceless. As long as the other party could not discover it, he could use his domain to attack. In fact, this wasn't even an attack from a domain. It was just an attack that used a domain to fuse with the Star River. In the end, it was still the celestial river flame that was attacking. But no matter what, he had already taken the first step in using his domain. Moreover, after he refined the Wishful Demon Axe that Tang Yu had given him, he was able to transform into several different forms and secretly attack the enemy while they were unprepared. Ning Cheng was also aware that his own strength had once again grown by a large margin compared to a few days ago. As long as he could advance to the Celestial Shatterer realm, he felt confident that he could kill Lu Pingchuan. The restriction at the door shook violently. Ning Cheng opened the restriction and saw the rest stop's steward standing at the door with an angry face. Seeing Ning Cheng come out, the steward spoke up in a stern voice. You dare to test spirit techniques and magic skills in our rest stop, and even destroy the array formations in our room? I'm really sorry. I will definitely pay attention to it next time. Ning Cheng knew that this matter was entirely his fault. He had chosen the wrong place to go into seclusion for cultivation. Pay 10 million green coins and leave our rest stop immediately. We do not welcome you here. The steward's tone turned even colder. Ning Cheng also felt helpless and could only compensate the other party with 10 million green coins before walking out of the rest stop. Ruan Mingxiu had not come to find him, so he could only find another place to live. Senior apprentice brother Ning. Ning Cheng had just walked out of the rest stop when he heard Ruan Mingxiu's voice. Ning Cheng wanted to see Ruan Mingxiu the most right now. He quickly stepped forward and asked, Junior apprentice Sister Mingxiu, did the Time Wilderness open? The Time Wilderness will open tomorrow. I came here specifically to say hello to you. Tomorrow, we will go to the Manluan Public Square. Did you come out for something? Ruan Mingxiu also felt strange about Ning Cheng leaving the rest stop. Since the Dao discussion convention, Ning Cheng had attracted the attention of many people. Although Tang Yu took away Ning Cheng's fire origin crystal, some people would not think so. They immediately wondered if Ning Cheng had more than one fire origin crystal, or where did Ning Cheng obtain the fire origin crystal? In Ruan Mingxiu's view, Ning Cheng should not have left the rest stop before the desolate domain opened. Ning Cheng spoke up with a bitter smile. I just got kicked out. I was practicing array formations in the rest stop when I accidentally destroyed the rest stop's original array formation. I was fined 10 million green coins and then kicked out. I was just about to look for a place to stay when you came by. Ruan Mingxiu showed a smile and spoke. Then let's go to my residence. In the evening, we can discuss how to cooperate in the Time Wilderness. Also, I have something else to tell you. Ning Cheng knew that the other matter should be related to the perpetual moon pills, so he did not refuse Ruan Mingxiu's invitation. He had cooperated with Ruan Mingxiu for the sake of obtaining perpetual moon pills. If he was not very familiar with perpetual moon pills before, then now that he had read the pill strips that Tang Yu had given him, his desire for perpetual moon pills grew even stronger. Moreover, he also knew that although perpetual moon pills were very precious in Striking Order Starland, they were not as precious in other starry skies. In the vast universe, some starry skies' perpetual moon pills were just like starry skies' crystals, ordinary and common. If one wanted to enter the vast universe and enter other starry skies, one would have to work hard to improve one's cultivation. Once one's cultivation reached a high level, one could then go to places with more resources to continue cultivating. Within the starry skies, there was a truth that the strong would always grow stronger. Although this truth was not 100% correct, it was 99% correct. Although Ruan Mingxiu's room contained a bed, the fact was that Ning Cheng and Ruan Mingxiu, with celestial scryer cultivation, could even sit down and discuss the Tao for a month without needing to sleep. Did you look at the map jade strip I gave you? After Ruan Mingxiu activated the restrictions around her room, the first thing she asked was Ning Cheng's jade strip. Ning Cheng nodded. Yes, I have a general understanding of the location. The communication pearls in the Time Wilderness have a very short range, and might not even be useful. The map jade strip I gave you might not be as good as the best ones, but it is much better than the map jade strip sold in Lucky Heaven City. On the map jade strip, there is a Moon Creek. This place is actually a dried-up river. If we can't get in touch, we can meet at Moon Creek. Ruan Mingxiu finished and looked at Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng had indeed seen the Moon Creek. Now that Ruan Mingxiu said it, he naturally did not have any problems with it. Okay, let's meet at Moon Creek. Ruan Mingxiu showed a slight smile. Meet or leave, that's a good way to put it. I quite like it. Ning Cheng was thinking about the map he bought at the Revolving Jade Cities auction. He had heard that it was also related to the Time Wilderness. According to the cultivator at the time, the map he bought could be found everywhere in the Striking Order Starland, and could be bought for 100 green coins. However, he had spent 110 million celestial coins. It was precisely because of this disparity that he had yet to see this map. Now that he thought about Ruan Mingxiu saying that there were many such maps, did he want to buy an ordinary map and compare it with the map he bought at the auction? Seeing Ning Cheng silent, Ruan Mingxiu spoke up again. Recently, a person has been looking for cultivators from the Orchid Burrow Celestial River to talk. He also came looking for me. I heard that he was looking for a map. If this person finds you, you won't know anything. You can inadvertently expose that you know Tang Yu. Ning Cheng did not know much about Tang Yu. Now that Ruan Mingxiu mentioned this name, he quickly asked, Junior apprentice Sister Mingxiu, who is this Tang Yu? Does she have a big background? Ruan Mingxiu looked at Ning Cheng in surprise and spoke. Tang Yu you don't know? Her father was Tang Yitong, an eternal level powerhouse of Striking Order Starry Sky. Even Heavenly Emperor Striking Order treated Tang Yitong politely. Within the Striking Order Starry Skies, no one dared to do anything to her. Otherwise Lu Pingchuan might not have stopped. Lu Pingchuan was also a person with a great background. He was from the Shangmao Celestial River's Lu clan, which was also a powerful force in the Shangmao Celestial River. By the way, how did you enter the Dao discussion venue? Also, Ma Jian is someone who only knows how to look at the sky from the corner of his eyes. Why would he speak up for you? A friend I just met brought me in. She's a nice person. That Ma Jian should be the person she invited to speak up for me. Ningqing spoke ambiguously. In fact, Ruan Mingxu had met Shen Qinyu once. However, Ningqing believed that Ruan Mingxu would not remember this matter. Not waiting for Ruan Mingxu to continue asking, Ningqing took the initiative to change the topic. Junior apprentice Sister Mingxu, can you tell me about the time wilderness? My knowledge of the time wilderness can be said to be a complete blank. Ruan Mingxu gave an sound. Senior apprentice Brother Ning. Even if you didn't say it, I would have told you about it. I don't know much about it, but I heard that the time wilderness is a fragment of a small law world within the planar void and a starry sky wilderness. Moreover, this fragment is a fragment of the laws of time. A heaven-defying powerhouse had fused this fragment of the laws of time with a starry sky wilderness, forming the time wilderness. Does it have an owner? Ningqing asked in amazement. Ruan Mingxu shook her head and spoke. It used to be, but not anymore. It was said that this powerhouse had built many laws of time worlds in his time wilderness, and had accumulated many treasures within them. However, before this powerhouse could fully form his own laws of time, he fell in a fight with someone else. Ningqing remained silent. He had seen many powerhouses fall. Back in the everlasting Blue Thunder City. Which one of those powerhouses was not a tyrannical figure in the entire universe? However, didn't these people turn into a pile of yellow soil within the starry sky? Even a powerhouse like Song Wei needed him to save him. Ningqing's gaze remained fixed on Ruan Mingxu's face, but his thoughts were not in this place at all. Powerhouses who fell could not be considered as powerhouses. Only cultivators who were eternally powerful in this universe could truly become powerhouses. Otherwise, they would just be floating clouds. What's wrong with you, senior apprentice Brother Ning? Ruan Mingxu saw Ningqing's trance and quickly asked. Oh, it's nothing. You can speak. Ningqing recovered. Ruan Mingxu knew that Ningqing definitely had some secrets, but she did not ask Ningqing and continued. Later, the time wilderness remained within the striking order starry skies. However, the time wilderness cannot be entered at any time. It only opens at a specific time. Over the years, countless cultivators have entered the time wilderness, but at the same time, countless cultivators have fallen in the time wilderness. In the time wilderness, the most terrifying thing is time. Sometimes you might fall into a time vortex, and by the time you break out, you might have already reached the end of your lifespan. Even striking order Heavenly Emperor couldn't enter? Ningqing asked. Ruan Mingxu spoke with affirmation. Yes, even striking order Heavenly Emperor couldn't enter without meeting the conditions. I heard that the time wilderness opens for 10 years, and after entering, there is no way to come out within 10 years. After 10 years, the time wilderness will automatically send out the cultivators inside. 10 years? Ningqing asked in shock. 10 years to enter a mystic realm, wasn't that too long? Yes, 10 years. In the time wilderness, the most precious thing is not the perpetual moon pills, but the time stones. The time stones automatically survive in the time wilderness. This kind of thing is extremely precious, and contains a trace of the laws of time. Time stones come in all sizes, from the size of a speck of dust to the size of a dragon's eye. I heard that the striking order Starry Skies time wilderness experience is based on the number of time stones harvested. Ningqing interrupted Ruan Mingxu's words. Junior apprentice Sister Mingxu, according to what you said, the value of the time stones is too high. Even if someone obtained a time stone, how could they take it out? Ruan Mingxu looked at Ningqing for a while, before she spoke up one word at a time. Senior apprentice Brother Ning, if you really obtained a time stone in the time wilderness, then you must take it out. Otherwise, you would only be courting death. Chapter 536. Ruan Mingxu did not explain it in detail, but Ningqing also understood what she meant. That is, if one obtained the time stones and did not hand them over, they could still be found out. Unfortunately, his mysterious yellow bead could not store things for a long time. Otherwise, he would have placed the time stone in the mysterious yellow bead. The mysterious yellow bead was a good fortune treasure. If he placed the time stones in the mysterious yellow bead, then no one would be able to find out about it. Why did the mysterious yellow bead have to wait until the 5 elements were complete before it could store things? As Ning Cheng thought until here, he was more and more convinced that there must be a way to put these things in the mysterious yellow bead, at least temporarily. His mysterious yellow bead, in addition to the mysterious yellow origin, now contained 2 other origins, water and fire. Could he use the other 3 origin items to set up a formation and store the items in it? The best origin item was naturally an origin crystal, but a single fire origin crystal was priceless. Where would he find the money to buy the other 3 origin crystals? Besides, even if he had the money, he couldn't buy it, right? Perhaps he didn't need to use origin crystals. Would a 5 elements array formation work? Senior apprentice Brother Ning, you don't have to think too much about the time stones. These things are not common even in the time wilderness. It was normal to not get a single one in 10 years. The last time you came to the Dao discussion hall, you only stayed for a day before leaving. However, I heard a lot about it, so we can discuss it. Wan Mingshu took the initiative to change the topic. She did not think that Ning Cheng would think about how to hide the time stones. Okay. Ning Cheng happily agreed. In any case, Wan Mingshu's knowledge was much more than his own. Ning Cheng's insights were astonishing, while Wan Mingshu's foundation was solid. The two of them chatted for the whole night, but unexpectedly felt that it was not enough, and both of them benefited a lot from it. Early the next morning, the restriction over Wan Mingshu's room was triggered. Wan Mingshu opened the restriction, and Zhao Yinxiang appeared at the door of the room. Mingshu, the time wilderness opens today. Let's go to the Manluan public square. Zhao Yinxiang's words abruptly stopped, as he saw Ning Cheng coming out of Wan Mingshu's room. Did you stay here last night? Zhao Yinxiang's brows immediately wrinkled, as he stared at Ning Cheng and asked. Wan Mingshu was someone he admired. She was his future Dao companion, and he was prepared to go to the universe with her. Now another man had walked out of the room of the woman he liked. Regardless of whether he had done anything, this kind of thing made it hard for him to calm down. Ning Cheng did not pay any attention to Zhao Yinxiang. Regardless of whether the person who tried to harm him last time was Zhao Yinxiang or not, he would sooner or later find this person and ask him about it. Wan Mingshu seemed to have some sort of relationship with this Zhao Yinxiang, so there was no need for him to talk nonsense now. What's more, Wan Mingshu's motive for getting close to him wasn't very clear. Wan Mingshu spoke with a calm expression. Yes, Senior Apprentice Brother Yen Xiang. Yesterday, I was able to chat with Senior Apprentice Brother Ning for the entire night, which benefited me a lot. Zhao Yinxiang's slightly fluctuating emotions suddenly calmed down. He smiled and said, in that case, let's go to the square together. As the most important public square in the Striking Order Starland, the Striking Order public square could not be described as big. There were all kinds of starry sky teleportation arrays here, as well as all kinds of facilities for cultivators. Although the Ning Cheng trio arrived early, there were many other cultivators who arrived earlier than them. By the time they arrived, the Striking Order public square was already packed with cultivators. With so many experts here, there wasn't much noise or clamor. The cultivators who came here knew very well that this place was a place that Heavenly Emperor Man Luan attached great importance to. Once someone caused trouble in this place, only death awaited them. Wan Mingshu kept a low profile. She brought Ning Cheng and Zhao Yinxiang to a place that was not very conspicuous in the public square. This time, the Celestial Scryer Genius Tryouts of the Striking Order Starry Skies was a major event, which Heavenly Emperor Man Luan personally presided over. Although Heavenly Emperor Man Luan had not arrived yet, some of the cultivators gathered together and whispered among themselves. However, no one dared to make any noise. Wan Mingshu and Zhao Yinxiang seemed to be arguing about something, while Ning Cheng did not want to participate in such a conversation, and took the initiative to walk to the other side. This friend, if I remember correctly, you are also from the Orchid Burrow Celestial River. Your name should be Ning Cheng, right? Ning Cheng had just stood still when a gentle voice sounded in his ear. Ningcheng looked back and saw a celestial gatherer cultivator with a thin body and 3 conspicuous celestial wheels behind him. This person was obviously a powerhouse with a celestial gatherer cultivation. That's right. Ningcheng gave a simple reply. The celestial gatherer cultivator clapped his hands and spoke. Let's get to know each other. My name is Fu Shogang, and we are both from the Orchid Burrow Celestial River. To tell the truth, it really is amazing that you could escape from the rat tide. Congratulations. I was also on that battleship at that time. If I didn't have a starry sky escape talisman, with so many starry skies spirit-devouring rats swarming over, I would have already lost my life. Ningcheng showed a faint smile. Then congratulations to you. By the way, when I was in the revolving Jade City, there was an auction that sold a map of the Time Wilderness. Do you know about that auction? Fu Shogang was a very talkative person and instantly found a topic to talk about. Ningcheng immediately became vigilant in his heart. He immediately thought of what Ruan Mingxiu had told him before. Someone was looking for the participating cultivators from the Orchid Burrow Celestial River, saying that they were looking for a map. Was it this fellow? Was he looking for the map that he obtained at the auction? Ningcheng replied without hesitation. I really don't know about it. I heard that the revolving Jade City's auctions often sold maps of the Time Wilderness, but I don't know which one you are talking about. Fu Shogang explained. I know that maps were often put up for auction at that time. In the beginning, a few of them sold for tens of millions of green coins. However, everyone later realized that they were fake, and very few people bought them. I'm not talking about that, but about an auction where a map was sold for 110 million green coins. Do you know about that auction? I don't know. Ningcheng replied without hesitation. You really don't know? These 4 words contained a sharp killing intent. Apparently, it did not come from Fu Shogang, but from behind Ningcheng. Ningcheng calmly turned around and saw a cultivator with 5 celestial wheels staring at him. This cultivator exuded a sharp killing intent, which completely locked down Ningcheng's entire body. Those 4 words were asked by this cultivator just now. From the celestial wheels behind him, Ningcheng understood that this person was at least an undead cultivator. Ningcheng's eyes flashed with a chill before he suddenly shouted out. As a cultivator participating in the Manluan Starry Skies, Celestial Scryer Genius Tryouts, and standing on the sacred Manluan public square, why would someone still want to kill me? Why would someone lock onto me with such a powerful killing intent? The cultivator with the killing intent apparently did not expect Ningcheng to dare to shout so loudly in the Manluan public square, let alone say that someone wanted to kill him. The cultivator's eyes instantly filled with panic. If he knew that Ningcheng would act like this, even if Ningcheng slapped him 100 times, he would not dare to do such a thing. You. The cultivator felt so angry that he could not even speak a word. Ningcheng stared at the cultivator with a cold gaze and spoke. A trivial undead ant. Yet you dare to threaten me here. A celestial novice cultivator had called the other party a trivial undead ant. Yet this undead cultivator did not dare to refute. Who dares to fight here? Not waiting for the undead cultivator to speak again, a gray-robed cultivator stood in front of Ningcheng. Senior, it's this person. Just now, he revealed a strong killing intent behind me, locked onto me with his killing intent, and even threatened me. Ningcheng pointed to the undead cultivator, who had locked onto him with the killing intent, and spoke with cupped fists. This gray-robed cultivator had already reached the heaven-seated realm. Even if Ningcheng did not say anything, he could feel the killing intent that had yet to dissipate. He raised his hand and slapped the undead cultivator. Before he could even say a word, the gray-robed cultivator slapped him into pieces. Whoever dares to fight in the Manluan public square and reveal killing intent die. After the gray-robed cultivator killed the undead cultivator who threatened Ningcheng, he spoke out in a cold voice before his figure flashed and disappeared without a trace. Fu Shogang stared at Ningcheng viciously. He did not think that Ningcheng would not act according to common sense and directly call out a heaven-seated powerhouse. Ningcheng did not bother to pay any attention to Fu Shogang and greeted Ruan Mingxiu, who was rushing over. He was about to enter the Time Wilderness, where he would have to spend 10 years in the Time Wilderness. This fellow, whom he did not even know, revealed his killing intent towards him. Moreover, he could take advantage of the geographical advantage, so it would be strange if he remained polite. What happened? Yuan Mingshu whispered into Ning Cheng's ear. Nothing, the Heavenly Emperor is here. Ning Cheng replied. Heavenly Emperor's striking order had indeed arrived, but no one knew when he arrived. His appearance this time was completely different from when he appeared at the Dao discussion hall. It was as if he had always been here and had just appeared. The Heavenly Emperor is eternal. A deafening voice erupted from the public square. Although no one organized it, it sounded very orderly. Striking order Heavenly Emperor stood on the high altar in the middle of the public square and spoke with a clear voice. I am very happy today, not only because today is the opening day of the Time Wilderness, but also because 99% of the geniuses in the celestial scryer realm of my striking order Starry Skies have come to this place. Maybe in the future, a Heavenly Emperor, or even an eternal powerhouse will emerge among you to fight for the honor of my striking order Starry Skies. However, no powerhouse can just sit at home. They must go out of the planet, out of the celestial river, out of the starry skies, out of the universe. Striking order Heavenly Emperor is eternal. A more enthusiastic call rang out. Ning Cheng suddenly felt a strange feeling in his heart. He felt that the worshipful voices coming from the public square would make striking order Heavenly Emperor look even taller. It might just be an illusion, but it really did appear in his mind. At this moment, he recalled the power of hope that he had seen before. Was this also a kind of power of hope? Striking order Heavenly Emperor laughed and spoke up in a loud voice. Today, I am here to announce that in the future, you will start from the striking order Starry Skies, from the Time Wilderness. Although there are not many geniuses who can represent our striking order Starry Skies to enter the universe, I still believe that our striking order Starry Skies can achieve the honor it deserves. The Time Wilderness will open for 10 years, and the results will be based on the number of time stones you obtain. 10 years will pass in a snap of the fingers. Now, I will bring all the geniuses participating in the Time Wilderness tryouts into the Time Wilderness. Let us meet again in 10 years. The Heavenly Emperor is eternal. The public square filled with violent shouts of worship. At this moment, it felt as if every cultivator had turned crazy. Chapter 537. Ning Cheng initially wanted to purchase an ordinary wilderness map. However, he did not have the opportunity to do so. The cultivators participating in the Time Wilderness smelting trial were about to board the battleship. The Time Wilderness was not located in the striking order Starland, nor could it establish a transfer array. As such, one would have to rely on a battleship to reach it. The battleship carried the hundreds of thousands of cultivators who entered the Time Wilderness for the trial. After passing through the striking order Starland, it only took half a day before it stopped outside the starry skies. Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness had already detected that the space in this place was extremely unstable. No wonder there was no way to establish a transfer array. A ripple-shaped entrance appeared in front of the battleship. Ning Cheng did not need to guess to know that this entrance should be the entrance to the Time Wilderness. Heavenly Emperor Man Luan attached great importance to this trial. Not only did he personally lead the team here, but he also specifically reminded everyone at the entrance. Geniuses of my Man Luan's starry skies, the entrance to the Time Wilderness will only remain open for 72 hours. If you lose this opportunity, you would not know when the next time the Time Wilderness opens would be. 10 years later, a temporary plaza would be built here. As long as the geniuses were able to come out, they would appear in this temporary starry plaza. Now let's hurry up and enter the desolate region. I wish all the participating geniuses a lucky return. Striking order Immortal, Heavenly Emperor Eternal. The participating cultivators shouted out in excitement. The battleship's restrictive spell was opened, and many cultivators jumped into it. Like dumplings falling into a pot, they disappeared. Senior apprentice Brother Ning, let's also go in. Yuan Mingshu, who was standing beside Ning Cheng, spoke up in a low voice. Okay, junior apprentice Sister Mingshu, do you have an ordinary map of the Time Wilderness? Ning Cheng asked with a slight hope in his heart. Yes, you didn't even buy this? Although somewhat surprised, Yuan Mingshu still took out a map jade strip and handed it to Ningcheng. Ningcheng was overjoyed as he took the jade strip and said, "Many thanks." Yuan Mingshu smiled and flew into the entrance of the waste domain. Zhao Yinxiang glanced at Ningcheng and quietly hid away the killing intent at the corner of his eyes before following Yuan Mingshu into the time wilderness. Ningcheng saw Tangyu but did not see Shen Qingyu. Ningcheng knew that Shen Qingyu's appearance was constantly changing. As such, there was a possibility that she was right next to him. He did not continue to use his spiritual consciousness to sweep around, and followed behind the many cultivators into the desolate domain's entrance. An enormous whirlpool swept away Ningcheng. At this moment Ningcheng could not even think, as everything in his mind turned blank. Not knowing how much time had passed, Ningcheng's feet finally came to a stop. Even with his powerful middle-stage celestial novice cultivation, he could not help but stagger. Ningcheng felt as if he was standing in the middle of a life vortex that was gradually disappearing. His life seemed to be fading away, while his heart was filled with panic and fear. Ningcheng calmed his mind and stabilized his thoughts. Perhaps anyone who felt that their life was slipping away would also experience this state, right? The surroundings were barren. There was no light, no water, no life, no spirit grass. There was only an indescribable color. It seemed to be gray, but also seemed to have a trace of a very strange color. This is the color of time. Ningcheng couldn't help but think of such a thought. Time had no color, but he felt that this was the color of time. Taking a deep breath, Ningcheng quickly left the place. Hundreds of thousands of people entered the time wilderness, yet he did not even see a single person. From this, it could be seen that this time wilderness was definitely not small. Not only that, even with his starry sky sea of consciousness, his spiritual consciousness could only sweep out within a radius of 100 miles. A day later, Ningcheng stopped in the middle of a withered thorny forest. This place finally had a little bit of color, at least it was a lot brighter. There were also a lot of plants here, although all of these plants were dead. Finding a secluded place in the thorns forest, Ningcheng took out 3 maps. 2 of the maps were given to him by Yuan Mingshu. One was the map of the Yuan clan, while the other was a map that could be bought on the streets of the Striking Order Starland. As for the third map, Ningcheng had spent 110 million green coins at the auction to purchase it as a spendthrift. Ningcheng compared the 2 maps given to him by Yuan Mingshu, and found that they were indeed very different. Although these 2 maps were jade strip maps, the Yuan clan's map not only marked more places, but also more than twice the size of the 2 maps. Carefully looking at the map he had bought at the auction, he found that it was not a jade strip map, but a leather scroll made from unknown materials. The things marked on the leather scroll were almost the same as the ordinary jade strip maps, but the graphics were a bit rougher. Ningcheng couldn't help but shake his head. He would not get angry over 100 million green coins. Among the many people at the auction, he was the only one who ended up being cheated. This was simply bullying him for not knowing the ropes. Just when Ningcheng was about to put away the leather scroll map, he suddenly noticed a bright spot on the leather scroll. Ningcheng felt sure that this bright spot was not there when he took it out, which made him stop his action of putting away the map. However, Ningcheng soon discovered that this bright spot was actually a directional indicator, pointing in a fixed direction. Was this really a different map? Ningcheng felt pleasantly surprised in his heart. He guessed that the map in his hand was most likely the same one that Fu Shogang was looking for. Ningcheng knew that his cultivation was still a bit lacking. He had originally planned to find a place to go into seclusion for a while to see if he could improve his cultivation before going out to look for Yuan Mingshu. But now that he found this map with a directional indicator, Ningcheng immediately gave up on his seclusion. No matter who left this map, or where it pointed to, he had to go and take a look. Ningcheng did not know how big this time wilderness was, but even after following this directional indicator for a few days, he did not meet a single person. Apart from the desolate surroundings, it was still desolate. No wonder it was called the wilderness. After walking around the time wilderness for a few days, compared to when he first came in, Ningcheng had already grown accustomed to the fear of his life slipping away. On the 12th day, Ningcheng stopped at a dry well. It was strange to see a well in the time wilderness. After all, a well was something that could only be seen in the mortal world. What made it even more strange was that this well was very shallow. Even without using his spiritual consciousness, with the help of the grayish light around him, he could see the bottom of the well with his eyes. Apart from a few rocks and some broken soil, there was nothing else inside. Ningqing opened the leather scroll map and compared it to the one in front of him. Sure enough, the bright spot on the leather scroll map pointed to the bottom of the well. He carefully searched the bottom of the well with his spiritual consciousness, but found nothing. Ningqing did not believe that anyone would be so bored as to make such a map to play tricks on others. Thinking of this, Ningqing put away the map and jumped into the well. After falling into the well, Ningqing knew that something was wrong. This well, whether using his spiritual consciousness or his eyes, did not exceed 3 meters. However, after he jumped in, the well seemed to have turned into a bottomless pit, causing him to sink deeper and deeper. Moreover, the speed of his descent was also getting faster and faster. Ningqing felt horrified in his heart. If this continued, wouldn't he end up falling to his death? However, even if Ningqing desperately tried to circulate his celestial essence, it was useless. His falling speed still kept increasing. Horrified, Ningqing crazily stimulated the twin wings of the heavenly clouds. To Ningqing's relief, although the twin wings of the heavenly clouds did not stop his falling figure, it did not increase his speed. In fact, it even started to slow down slowly. Just when Ningqing wanted to speed up the twin wings of the heavenly clouds, his legs gave out a crisp kacha sound. At this moment, he fell to the bottom of the well. Ningqing took in a deep breath. Fortunately, he had the twin wings of the heavenly clouds. Fortunately, he was a body-forging god. Otherwise, he would have ended up as a starry sky cultivator. Not caring about his broken legs, Ningqing immediately swept out with his spiritual consciousness. He found that he was surrounded by all kinds of skeletons. Because of the airflow fluctuations caused by his fall, these seemingly safe and sound skeletons instantly turned into flying ash. When he looked up again, where could he see the mouth of the well? Even his spiritual consciousness could not find the mouth of the well. Ningqing sucked in a breath of cold air. What the hell was this place? The surrounding rich starry sky essence chi made Ningqing feel slightly relieved. At least in this place, there would not be any problems for him to cultivate. As long as he could cultivate, with the twin wings of the heavenly clouds, he would eventually be able to climb up. Ningqing did not expect that just after entering the time wilderness, he would fall into such a terrifying dry well. For Ningqing, breaking both of his legs was not a very serious injury. Under the operation of his celestial essence, it only took him half an incense stick worth of time to fully recover from his injuries. Ningqing stood up and walked around the bottom of the well. The bottom of the well was not very big, only about 3 feet in radius. Some of the fallen cultivator's skeletons were scattered all over the place, and with just a single step, these skeletons would turn into flying ash. As for the storage rings, Ningqing did not see any of them. After wandering around for half a day, Ningqing found a hidden array entrance in a corner. The array entrance was not complicated, and Ningqing easily opened the array entrance and walked in. It was a small stone house with a praying mat in the middle of the stone house. Other than that, there was nothing else. Ningqing's spiritual consciousness tried to grab it, but could not pick up the praying mat. What kind of praying mat was this? Ningqing walked up to the praying mat with some doubts, bent down and grabbed it with his hand again. An extremely rich starry sky's essence chi instantly filled his entire body, and the comfortable feeling made the feeling of his life slipping away disappear without a trace. Good stuff, Ningqing felt pleasantly surprised. Since his cultivation advanced to the celestial novice realm, he had not felt this way for a long time. If he cultivated on this praying mat, his cultivation would definitely rise by leaps and bounds. His cultivation progressed slowly, which made Ningqing deeply feel the difficulty of survival. Now that there was such a good place to cultivate, how could he miss it? After using his spiritual consciousness to check that the praying mat did not have any problems, Ningqing did not hesitate to operate the mysterious yellow formless and start cultivating on the praying mat. The rich starry sky essence chi almost turned into a solid substance as it poured out from the praying mat and completely surrounded Ningqing. Chapter 538. With such rich starry sky essence qi, Ningqing did not feel even the slightest hindrance in absorbing it. Ningqing did not know how long it had been since he cultivated in such a carefree manner. What his mysterious yellow formless lacked the most was resources that could satisfy his cultivation needs. And this kind of cultivation environment was a kind of resource. Ningqing's meridians started to expand and toughen under the crazy absorption, while the intensity of his celestial essence also started to grow slowly. At the same time, Ningqing's cultivation also started to crazily improve with every passing moment. It was extremely rare for bottlenecks to appear in the mysterious yellow formless, but now that Ningqing was crazily absorbing the spiritual energy, he could not even see any bottlenecks. Advancing from middle-stage celestial novice realm to late-stage celestial novice realm was like water flowing into a canal. Even after Ningqing advanced from late-stage celestial novice realm to full-circle celestial novice realm, he still did not stop cultivating. Bang! A dull sound came from outside, causing Ningqing to wake up, as he suddenly opened his eyes. He didn't know how long he had been cultivating here, but to him, it was as simple as an instant. Checking his cultivation, he found that it had already reached the full circle of the celestial novice realm. This kind of cultivation was simply too pleasurable. Since he had reached the full circle of the celestial novice realm, he should have already gone out to face the tribulation to advance to the celestial shatterer realm. When he truly advanced to the celestial shatterer realm, if he met that Lu Pingchuan again, he would not have to fear him, unless that fellow desperately advanced to the celestial bridge realm. However, Ningqing had heard that it was extremely difficult to advance from the celestial scryer realm to the celestial bridge realm. Besides, Ningqing believed that Lu Pingchuan would not be in a hurry to advance to the celestial bridge realm. This fellow also planned to represent the striking order Starry Skies in the tournament, so why would he be in a hurry to advance to the celestial bridge realm? Ningqing's spiritual consciousness swept out to the outside of the house, and found a celestial shatterer cultivator, who had just fallen out of the well. The sound a moment ago was the sound of his landing. This cultivator clearly did not have as good of a luck as Ningqing. Not only did his corporeal body collapse, even his essence spirit swayed within the well in a daze. Before the primordial spirit could make a choice, a black hand suddenly appeared and grabbed the primordial spirit. Ningqing couldn't help but shudder. He did not even notice where this black hand had come from. Moreover, when he had landed before, he also did not see this black hand. Hurry up and leave, this is not a place to stay for long. Ningqing was just about to stand up when he felt an even more violent starry sky essence qi rushing towards him. He could only continue operating the mysterious yellow formless. Ka. His meridians broke and reformed one after another, while his Zifu crazily expanded. Even his starry sky sea of consciousness started to become active. No, this is not right. This is a sign of advancement. Ningqing was greatly shocked in his heart. He hadn't even gone out to face the tribulation, so how did he advance? He had heard that each of the 3 stages of nirvana was a process of nirvana. Therefore, it was not strange for the meridians to reorganize. However, advancing to the celestial shatterer realm without thunder tribulation really made no sense. However, the facts did not allow Ningqing to continue thinking about it. At this moment, he could only desperately operate the mysterious yellow formless, and crazily absorb the rich starry sky essence qi coming from under the praying mat. The mysterious yellow formless, with the help of the mysterious yellow origin, was indeed incomparably formidable. Even the broken meridians in his body started to reform, making them even more tenacious. The starry sky sea of consciousness expanded once again, and Ningqing could even feel a trace of starry sky's aura within the starry skies within his sea of consciousness. His powerful spiritual sense swept out once more, and his surroundings became even clearer. Sure enough, after advancing to the early stage celestial shatterer realm, not only did his celestial essence increase exponentially, but even his starry sky sea of consciousness had reached a new level. Ningqing stood up. He felt that this place was very strange. What bothered him the most was that he did not experience any thunder tribulation when he advanced to the celestial shatterer realm. Moreover, he also felt that the starry sky essence qi on the praying mat below him had decreased by a lot. If he continued to cultivate in this place, the effects would be greatly reduced. However, he did not let go of this praying mat and grabbed it again. What made Ningcheng pleasantly surprised was that this time he was able to easily pick up the praying mat. After putting away the praying mat, Ningcheng immediately felt that the starry sky's essence chi around him had returned to normal. Sure enough, it was all because of this praying mat. Young man, not only did you use my treasure for cultivation, but you also took away my treasure. Isn't this a bit too much? How can you be so excessive? You have to know that this cultivation treasure is something that I will have to use in the future. Although it is the same whether you take it or not, but when I want to use it, I will have to take it out from you. A sudden voice arrived. At the beginning, it sounded like an expert, but at the end, it turned into a long-winded voice. Ningcheng immediately brought out his Nirvana spear, while thinking about who was this person. Ningcheng guessed that this voice belonged to the Black Hand from before. That Black Hand had grabbed the essence spirit of a cultivator who had just fallen to his death. However, it did not touch him. Since this praying mat is yours, I will leave it to you. Now that I have to leave, please remove the restrictions around this well. Ningcheng spoke in a calm tone. That Black Hand did not grab him. It definitely was not because he was special. Maybe it was because he had a corporeal body, and this Black Hand could not do anything to him. Young man, you are too impatient. You can cultivate until you reach the Celestial Gatherer realm, and then I can go out. Wouldn't that be great? This way you can save time, and also have two big advantages. The voice came again. What do you mean? Ningcheng interrupted the long-winded voice with a calm tone, while carefully using his spiritual consciousness to protect his body. The voice gave a smile. Someone came here again. It must be the time wilderness opening again. I am just the essence spirit. What are you so nervous about? Originally, I could have used this time to devour some essence spirits to strengthen myself. At the same time, you could also use the essence gathering praying mat to cultivate. By the time you reach the Celestial Gatherer realm, my essence spirit would also have grown a lot stronger. At that time, wouldn't it be perfect for us to merge into one? So you wanted to take over my body. Did you put out that map? Ningcheng had already found the source of the voice, which was the stone wall of the house he was in. Although the voice was laughing, its voice was very sharp. Young man, what map? Don't say it in such a bad way. How can you say that you want to take over my body? This is fusion. Fusion, do you understand? What I find strange is that even after advancing to the Celestial Shatterer realm, you still don't have a celestial wheel. After the voice spoke about celestial wheels, it completely faded away. Ningcheng felt a stabbing pain in his sea of consciousness, and a vague shadow with a face appeared in his sea of consciousness. This shadow was not a human figure, but a vague bull-headed shadow. Ningcheng felt shocked in his heart. A beast wanted to take over his body. What surprised him even more was that he did not have the time to prevent the bull-headed essence spirit from entering his sea of consciousness. What a powerful method! Essence spirit, come let me eat another one. After this vague bull-headed shadow spoke those words, a black hand formed in Ningcheng's sea of consciousness and raised it to grab at him. Ningcheng felt his sea of consciousness turning black, as if his entire soul wanted to leave him. I must not let this bastard take over my body. Ningcheng bit the tip of his tongue and blasted out the everlasting blue thunder city. Countless lightning bolts struck the bull-headed shadow with a vague face, followed by a shrill scream. Who are you? You can even bring out a weapon in your sea of consciousness. What kind of weapon is this? No, what is this sea of consciousness? Why does it look like a starry sky? Ningcheng did not care about the screams of the bull-headed shadow with a vague face. This was not the first time someone tried to take over his body. Moreover, he was the least afraid of others trying to take over his body. If he had been more careful and stretched out his celestial river fusion domain, this bull-headed shadow would not have been able to enter his sea of consciousness. Pitter-patter. The lightning arcs bombarded the bull-headed shadow with a vague face. The bull-headed shadow continued to scream, and its figure grew more and more blurry. I'm going to swallow you. This bull-headed shadow with a vague face no longer had the calmness from before. Instead, it crazily tried to devour Ningcheng's essence spirit. Celestial river, come for me. Ningqing did not show even half a shred of politeness towards this thing that wanted to take over his body. He once again brought out the celestial river flame. The vague essence spirit could not hold on under the attacks of the everlasting Blue Thunder City. Facing the horrifying celestial river flame, it instantly issued a tearing cry. "Let me out, I was wrong, let me go." The bull-headed essence spirit screamed sharply in Ningqing's starry sky sea of consciousness. However, its screams were getting softer and softer. The everlasting Blue Thunder City had already beaten it to the point that it wanted to die. Coupled with the burning of the celestial river flame, it turned even more dispirited. Ningqing raised his hand and grasped. The next moment, the vague essence spirit within his sea of consciousness fell into his hand. "Big brother, senior. Spare me. Just let me go like a fart. I will never dare to try to take over your body again." The dispirited bull-headed essence spirit held in Ningqing's hand and screamed miserably. Where was the slightest bit of the old man's appearance from before? Am I old? Ningqing did not want to kill this essence spirit. He originally wanted to ask this essence spirit some questions, but he did not expect this bull-headed essence spirit to turn out to be such a top-grade item. The bull-headed essence spirit quickly spoke up. "No, you are handsome, elegant, young and promising, the first in the starry sky, unparalleled in the universe." "Stop." Ningqing felt goosebumps all over his body as he called out to the bull-headed essence spirit to stop. He had made a mistake. This essence spirit was not a top-grade item, but a skit. When the bull-headed essence spirit heard the word stop, it immediately stopped speaking. In Ningqing's view, it was even more powerful than the most powerful breaks. "How much do you know about the time wilderness? Let me see if you have any value in existence." Ningqing stared at the bull-headed essence spirit and spoke with a sneer. The bull-headed essence spirit quickly spoke up again. "I know a lot. I have value in existence. I have a lot of value in existence." "Less nonsense, hurry up and speak." Ningqing squeezed the essence spirit's shadow, which was almost half dead due to the celestial river flame. The bull-headed essence spirit quickly spoke up. "I know about the Echo Waterfall. I also know about the Sea of Twilight. I also know a lot. Do you know about the Perpetual Moon Lake?" Ningqing's heart moved. I know, I absolutely know. My master took me there before, so I definitely know about the Perpetual Moon Lake. As long as you spare my life, I promise to take you to the Perpetual Moon Lake." The bull-headed life essence spoke up in a hurry, using many words to describe it. From the looks of it, this bull-headed essence spirit still had a lot of value. Ningqing really did not want to kill this essence spirit at this moment. "I don't want to kill you, but you are just the essence spirit. How can you follow me?" When Ningqing heard this bull-headed essence spirit speak about his master, he guessed that this bull-headed essence spirit must have been brought in by a cultivator. The bull-headed essence spirit looked at Ningqing and spoke up. "My master left behind a big ring here. As long as you let me go, I will immediately take it out. This ring has everything inside it. In addition, I had been staying in the praying mat before. You don't have any room to bargain. Hurry up and take it." Ningqing raised his hand and pulled out a trace of the bull-headed essence spirit before throwing it out. If he wanted to give the praying mat to this bull-headed essence spirit, then don't even think about it. Yes, I'll go get it right away." The bull-headed essence spirit spoke up in an incomparably flattering tone. Chapter 539. An hour later, Ningqing finally figured out what was going on. The space within the ring that Oxhead found was indeed huge. Moreover, its level was also far higher than Ningqing's pocket world. It was almost at the level of a high-grade Dao artifact. It could even accommodate one's essence spirit. However, the things inside did not arouse Ningqing's interest. Apart from a high-grade Dao artifact, there were only some empty jade boxes and some worthless ordinary rings. The bull-headed primordial spirit would usually hide inside the praying mat. Whenever a cultivator descended, the bull-headed primordial spirit would devour the cultivator's primordial spirits to cultivate itself. Therefore, it had no idea how many good things were inside the ring. The bull-headed life essence turned out to be a wind-seeking longevity bull. Hearing this name, Ningqing almost laughed out loud. It was no wonder that this fellow had lived to this day. His name was Longevity Ox. Its master had fallen in the Sea of Twilight. The life essence of the wind-seeking longevity bull had taken its master's ring and escaped into this dry well. Since then, it had never come out. As for the way the wind-seeking longevity bull spoke, it was because before it was caught, it wanted to imitate its fallen master and pretend to be an expert. After being caught by Ning Cheng, he completely forgot his directions and only knew how to beg for mercy. How long have I been cultivating here? Ning Cheng bluntly took out the ring that the wind-seeking longevity bull had taken out and put it on his hand before asking. He intended to use this ring for himself. The wind-seeking longevity bull did not dare to express even half a word of dissatisfaction and carefully replied, "It's been more than 2 years. Master, you started cultivating as soon as you came in and advanced to the celestial Shatterer realm. I'm not your master. Don't mistake me for someone else. I'll return your primordial spirit to you. You can continue to stay here and devour your life essence. I'm leaving." Ning Cheng pulled out a trace of his life essence and threw it towards the wind-seeking longevity bull. Apart from its longevity, this cow did not have much use. Although it knew a few places, it could not say anything about it. Although it said that it knew about the perpetual moon lake, it was only because its former owner had pointed it in a certain direction. In order to save his life, this bull had no bottom line in his words. Although Ning Cheng did not want to kill this long-winded wind-seeking longevity bull, but he also did not want to bring it along with him. "Master, please take me away. I've been in this black well for who knows how many years. Even primordial spirits can only eat a few times, so I'm still very useful. My name is Wind-Chasing Longevity Ox. Not only do I live for a long time, but I am also very fast. When I recover my physical body in the future, I will definitely be of great help to Master." The wind-seeking longevity bull spoke up in a pitiful voice. If Ning Cheng took away its praying mat, then how could it stay in this place? Ning Cheng hesitated for a long time before speaking. "I can take you away, but if you dare to have even half a shred of disloyalty, I will help you restore your corporeal body." The wind-chasing longevity bull was startled. "You have ulterior motives, yet you are helping me restore my body? But no matter how disloyal I am, I have no way to deal with your incomparably terrifying sea of consciousness." Ning Cheng looked at the wind-seeking longevity bull and sneered. "Then I will stew you whole, add some shallots, and slowly eat the whole pot of beef soup." The wind-seeking longevity bull shivered and quickly said, "I have no disloyalty. I definitely have no disloyalty. I am loyal and devoted. My loyalty is unparalleled." "Shut up." Ning Cheng stopped the wind-seeking longevity bull and spoke. "I'll call you Little Chase from now on. If you perform well in the time wilderness, I will take you out and restore your corporeal body. As for whether it will turn into beef soup or not, it will depend on your performance." The wind-seeking longevity bull shivered a few more times and did not dare to continue talking. Ning Cheng threw the essence spirit of the wind-seeking longevity bull into the essence-gathering praying mat, and then threw the praying mat into his ring before activating the twin wings of the heavenly clouds. When he first fell down, it did not take him long. But now that he wanted to fly up, even if he advanced to the celestial Shatterer realm, it would still take a lot of effort. Ning Cheng did not know what this well contained, but the powerful suction force had forced Ning Cheng to spend half a month before he finally rushed out. The first thing Ning Cheng did after rushing out of the well was to head to Moon Creek. He and Ruan Mingshu had made an appointment to go to Moon Creek. Now that more than 2 years had passed, he did not know if Ruan Mingshu was still in Moon Creek or not. Moon Creek was not a stream. According to Ruan Mingshu, it was just a dried-up river. In fact, it was not even a dried-up river. After Ning Cheng arrived here, he felt that this place could only be regarded as a basin. After Ning Cheng advanced to the celestial Shatterer realm, although he still did not have a celestial wheel, his spiritual consciousness had soared, allowing him to sweep out within a radius of 200 to 300 miles. However, he could not find Ruan Mingshu's shadow around, nor did he find any marks left by Ruan Mingshu. Ruan Mingshu hadn't come here yet? Ning Cheng felt a little puzzled. He did not come here in time, not because he failed to keep his appointment, but because he was trapped at the bottom of the well. But for what reason did Ruan Mingshu not come here in time? The celestial river essence qi in this dried-up river was only average, so Ningcheng decided to wait here for a while. The main reason was that he had not yet stabilized his celestial shatterer cultivation. He had just advanced to the celestial shatterer realm when Little Chase, that stupid bull, woke him up. Instead of looking for a place to stabilize his cultivation, it was better to stay in Moon Creek and wait for Ruan Mingshu while stabilizing his cultivation. 2 months passed by in a flash, and Ningcheng's cultivation stabilized at the early stage celestial shatterer realm. During this period, Ruan Mingshu did not come here. Ningcheng started to think about leaving this place and looking for the perpetual moon lake alone. Ruan Mingshu had not come for a few months, so he could not just wait here, right? Maybe Ruan Mingshu had come here, but did not wait for him and left. Besides, although that stupid bull boasted a bit, Ningcheng could still make out the approximate location of the perpetual moon lake. Just at this moment, a figure dashed over to this side. Ningcheng immediately stopped the idea of going out. This was the first time he had seen another cultivator since entering the Time Wilderness. This figure quickly arrived at the dried-up river of Moon Creek, and Ningcheng could clearly see that it was Ruan Mingshu. After more than 2 years, Ruan Mingshu's aura had grown much stronger than before. From this, it showed that Ningcheng was not the only one who had a fortuitous encounter in the Time Wilderness. Not waiting for Ningcheng to come out, another figure quickly arrived. This figure, just as Ningcheng had guessed, was Zhao Yanxiang. Mingshu, why didn't you listen to me and came to this place? Zhao Yanxiang landed in front of Ruan Mingshu and spoke with a slight complaint. His aura had also grown a bit stronger than before. Over the past 2 years in the Time Wilderness, he had made a lot of progress. I promised senior apprentice brother Ningcheng that I would wait for him here. Ruan Mingshu replied calmly. Zhao Yanxiang suddenly stepped forward and pulled Ruan Mingshu's hand. Mingshu, it's been so long. Who knows if Ningcheng is still alive or not? Since he offended Lu Pingchuan, he would never let this person go. Besides, I don't believe that the two of us can't enter the perpetual moon lake. After saying that, Zhao Yanxiang exerted some force and pulled Ruan Mingshu into his arms. Ruan Mingshu turned around and pushed Zhao Yanxiang away. Senior apprentice brother Yanxiang, I don't like it. Well, if you don't like it, then I won't do it. Then can we go to the perpetual moon lake first? Zhao Yanxiang simply let go of Ruan Mingshu. I said that I would wait for senior apprentice brother Ning. Ruan Mingshu frowned. Don't we need a cultivator with a powerful spiritual consciousness for a blood sacrifice? Can't we just sneak attack a cultivator and take him to the perpetual moon lake for a blood sacrifice? Zhao Yanxiang suddenly spoke with some dissatisfaction. Ruan Mingshu stared at Zhao Yanxiang in amazement. You know about the blood sacrifice? Of course I know. Zhao Yanxiang replied, but he sneered in his heart. If not for Ningcheng's blood sacrifice, how could he tolerate Ruan Mingshu staying in Ningcheng for the night? Seeing Ruan Mingshu's expression changing, Zhao Yanxiang once again stepped forward and hugged Ruan Mingshu before opening his mouth to kiss her. Ruan Mingshu's face turned angry as she pushed Zhao Yanxiang away and spoke. Senior apprentice brother Yanxiang, you just said that if I don't like it, you wouldn't do it. Zhao Yanxiang did not know if it was because of Ningcheng, but he finally felt some anger. Junior apprentice sister Mingshu, you can sleep with Ningcheng, but I can't kiss you? Who exactly is your Dao companion? Ruan Mingshu's angry face suddenly calmed down. She looked at Zhao Yanxiang and spoke with a calm voice. Senior apprentice brother Zhao, you are not my Dao companion. Please don't misunderstand your priorities. We are just cooperating. I sleep with Ningcheng because I like sleeping with him. You have no right to interfere in my affairs. Zhao Yanxiang's face stiffened, and he spoke up in a slow tone. Mingshu, my words just now were a bit heavy. I care too much about you, so my words were a bit heavy. Please don't take it to heart. Haha, junior apprentice sister Mingshu, I didn't expect that I would come at the right time. Did I keep you waiting? Ningcheng's laughter interrupted Zhao Yanxiang's words. Ruan Mingshu, on seeing Ningcheng, immediately showed a surprised expression on her face. Then she remembered something, and her expression changed again. Senior apprentice brother Ning, I just arrived. Did you just arrive here? Yes, I just arrived here. Oh, junior apprentice brother Zhao is also here. That's for the best. Let's go together. Ningcheng seemed to have just seen Zhao Yinxiang and added a sentence in surprise. He did not know that Zhao Yinxiang's cultivation and age were much higher than his. Zhao Yinxiang gave a few dry laughs. Okay, let's go together. Wan Mingshu led the way, and the three of them headed towards the perpetual moon lake together. However, none of the three people spoke, as if each had their own thoughts. Senior apprentice brother Ning, did you really just arrive at Moon Creek? After running for a few days, Wan Mingshu finally could not help but take the initiative to ask. Ningcheng replied in doubt. Yes, did I keep you waiting for a long time? No, how could that be? After I came in, I found a celestial essence spring and cultivated for more than a year. I'm afraid that you might have waited for a long time and felt a little anxious. By the way, over the past 2 years, did senior apprentice brother Ning find anything good in the time wilderness? Wan Mingshu gave a dry reply. My luck has always been good, so I found a few celestial essence springs and cultivated for more than a year. Although I have yet to cultivate a celestial wheel, I feel that I have made a lot of progress. Ningcheng gave a smile. Zhao Yanxiang, on seeing Ningcheng and Wan Mingshu talking, felt as if he had become an outsider, quickly took the initiative to speak up. Mingshu, how far is the perpetual moon lake? Very far. Wan Mingshu replied with an expressionless face before turning silent again. Boom. A violent explosion once again broke the silence. Wan Mingshu stopped and looked at the place where the violent explosion came from before frowning and speaking. That's in the direction of the perpetual moon lake. Chapter 540. Zhao Yanxiang was the first to speed up and quickly disappeared from Ningcheng and Wan Mingshu's sight. Wan Mingshu did not follow Zhao Yanxiang. Instead, she bowed to Ningcheng and spoke. Senior apprentice brother Ning, I'm sorry. I deceived you. My father wanted to cooperate with you because you don't have a celestial wheel and have a powerful spiritual consciousness. He wanted to use you as a blood sacrifice to enter the perpetual moon lake and open the perpetual moon fort. Ningcheng spoke up in a calm voice. If that's the case, why did you tell me? When I arrived, you and your companions could use me as a blood sacrifice. Wouldn't that solve the problem? Wan Mingshu took in a deep breath and slowly spoke. I can't do it. I might not be suitable for the starry skies. If I really did it, I would never forgive myself for the rest of my life. You told me to meet you at Moon Creek, but I ended up cultivating in a place for 2 years. You waited for me for 2 years. Raising her hand to stop Ningcheng's explanation, Wan Mingshu continued. You don't have to say anything. I arrived at Moon Creek at the same time you arrived. There is no such coincidence in this world. I know that you have been waiting in Moon Creek. The time wilderness is full of opportunities, but you hid in the barren Moon Creek for 2 years. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the 4 words meet you or leave. Ningcheng, who originally wanted to explain, suddenly lost the desire to explain. Wan Mingshu's words indicated that their cooperation had ended here. Since it ended here, they would only have an ordinary relationship when they met in the future. There was no need for such nonsense. Besides, he had personally heard Wan Mingshu say that she wanted to use him as a blood sacrifice. It looks like my luck is good, and I managed to escape this disaster. Ningcheng showed a faint smile. He had planned to wait for Zhao Yanxiang and Wan Mingshu to use him as a blood sacrifice, and then use a sneak attack to put the 2 of them in as a blood sacrifice. Ningcheng did not expect that Wan Mingshu would confess everything in the perpetual moon lake. Wan Mingshu's face turned pale. Whether you believe it or not, whether you really waited in Moon Creek for 2 years or not, whether you heard the conversation between me and Zhao Yanxiang, I will not use you as a blood sacrifice. It's up to you whether you believe it or not. There is an ancient desolate fort at the bottom of the perpetual moon lake, called the Perpetual Moon Fort. To open this fort, you must use a cultivator without a celestial wheel as a blood sacrifice. The cultivator's spiritual consciousness, the better. The better. After entering the Perpetual Moon Fort, Ningcheng found a perpetual moon pill pond. Although the pill pond contained perpetual moon pills, it also contained a pill king pill. This medicinal pill was called the Celestial River Essence Chi King Pill. A medicinal pill that could allow a Heaven's Mandate cultivator to advance to the heaven-seated realm. Its effects are even better than the filth-severing cloudy sky pill, as it doesn't have any impurities. Did your father ask you to obtain this celestial river essence Qi King pill? Ningcheng suddenly understood. Ruan Mingshu's father, Ruan Qingzhong, wanted to advance to the heaven-seated realm. As such, he needed this kind of pill. Ruan Mingshu nodded. Yes, in addition to the celestial river essence Qi King pill, I also want a key. This key is called the Perpetual Moon Time Key. Maybe in the Perpetual Moon Castle. This key is the real priceless treasure. Why are you telling me this? Ningcheng stared at Ruan Mingshu and asked. Ruan Mingshu looked at the distant Perpetual Moon Lake and spoke up. My father thought that he was the only one who knew about the secrets of the Perpetual Moon Lake, but now there are too many people who know about the secrets of the Perpetual Moon Lake. With my cultivation, wanting to snatch these things is undoubtedly a pipe dream. I'm leaving. After saying that, Ruan Mingshu sped up and rushed towards the Perpetual Moon Lake. Wait, I still owe you a grade 4 celestial river array disc. Ningcheng called out. Since they had nothing to do with each other. Since he owed her a grade 4 celestial river array disc, he might as well give her some green coins. Ruan Mingshu did not answer, and her figure completely disappeared from the center of the Perpetual Moon Lake. Ningcheng understood that Ruan Mingshu meant to forget about it. Regardless of whether Ruan Mingshu wanted to forget about it or not, Ningcheng did not want to miss out on the Perpetual Moon pills in the Perpetual Moon Lake. The Perpetual Moon Lake was indeed a huge lake, but it was also a dry lake. There was no water in the lake, only some traces of cracks. There was a huge black hole in the center of the lake, with a slanted staircase extending out from the depths of this black hole. Ningcheng's spiritual consciousness could clearly see many cultivators inside the black hole. The explosion just now must have originated from this black hole. Zhao Yinxiang and Ruan Mingshu were no longer outside. Apparently, they had entered the lake. Ningcheng also followed the slanted staircase into the black hole. More specifically, he arrived at a small public square paved with bluestones. At this time, there were already hundreds of people in the public square. Ningcheng's arrival did not attract anyone's attention, as everyone was staring at the front. Ruan Mingshu and Zhao Yinxiang stood among the crowd. At the end of the bluestone public square, there was a simple castle gate with ripples rotating rapidly in the middle of the gate. A faint bloody smell oozed out from the rotating ripples. Ningcheng understood that someone must have died as a blood sacrifice. Another cultivator without a celestial wheel. Let's push another person in, wouldn't it be faster? Finally, a cultivator discovered Ningcheng and immediately called out. Not waiting for the others to look at Ningcheng, Ruan Mingshu's sneering voice arrived. The blood sacrifice can only be performed by one person at most. If there are more, not only would the blood sacrifice fail, but it would also collapse. Ruan Mingshu's voice had just fallen when the rapidly rotating castle gate opened with a bang, and a rich starry sky essence qi seeped out from it. Just like the soft color of the moonlight, a huge hall appeared in front of everyone, with a huge pool in front of them. The pool was in the middle of the hall, and inside the pool were pills the size of a dragon's eye, stacked on top of each other, giving off a soft feeling. Perpetual moon pills. A scream erupted, and almost at the same time, everyone rushed inside in a frenzy. Were these perpetual moon pills? Ningcheng felt shocked in his heart. He could feel the benefits of this medicinal pill with his spiritual consciousness. If used for cultivation, it would definitely be much better than any starry sky essence qi or starry sky crystals. Poof poof. Several blood spattered out, and the few cultivators who had just rushed to the side of the perpetual moon pill pond fell from the sky. There's a killing array here. If you want to obtain the perpetual moon pills, you must first break the killing array. A cultivator took the lead and shouted out, while simultaneously bringing out a weapon. Many cultivators brought out their weapons. At this time, everyone could not wait to blow up the killing array and snatch the perpetual moon pills. Ningcheng was squeezed at the back, but he did not rush up. There were more than 100 people here. No matter how these people tried to snatch it, once the perpetual moon pill pond collapsed, he would at least be able to grab some of the perpetual moon pills. Boom boom boom. Countless weapons bombarded the array formation outside the perpetual moon pill pond, triggering bursts of essence chi fluctuations. The killing array outside the perpetual moon pill pond was a natural killing array formed automatically over a long period of time because there were too many perpetual moon pills. Moreover, this killing array did not have a high grade before it fully formed. With so many cultivators attacking at the same time, the killing array quickly collapsed. With the entire perpetual moon pill pond exposed in front of everyone's eyes, at this time, who could snatch it? Why would Ningqing care about hiding? Activating the twin wings of the heavenly clouds, Ningqing was the first to rush into the perpetual moon pill pond. With a sweep of his spiritual consciousness, he managed to snatch away 1/10 of the perpetual moon pills in the entire pill pond. This pill pond was just too big, and the medicinal pills were separated into pieces. Even with Ningqing's powerful spiritual consciousness, he could only snatch away 1/10 of them at a time. Ningqing, a cultivator without a celestial wheel, was the first to rush into the perpetual moon pill pond to snatch the perpetual moon pills, which instantly aroused the anger of others. However, at this moment no one could care about Ningqing. Everyone was focused on snatching the perpetual moon pills. Ningqing pushed his powerful spiritual consciousness to the extreme, causing his spiritual consciousness to sweep around crazily. By the time the perpetual moon pill pond emptied of perpetual moon pills, Ningqing had already snatched away about 40% of the perpetual moon pills. Kill him. After snatching the perpetual moon pills, all the cultivators rushed towards Ningqing. This was also the reason why no one cared about Ningqing snatching a large number of perpetual moon pills. All the cultivators knew that no matter how much Ningqing snatched, he would not be able to escape. Dozens of weapons shot towards Ningqing, and the place where Ningqing stood instantly transformed into a celestial essence vortex. With so many weapons shooting towards him, it had already locked down the area where he stood using celestial essence. When Ningqing snatched 40% of the perpetual moon pills, he realized that he had become the target of public criticism. Almost at the same time when so many weapons shot towards him, Ningqing stimulated the twin wings of the heavenly clouds and rushed towards the steps leading to the outside. Bang! A strong resistance pushed Ningqing back. Ningqing's heart sank. He did not think that someone would have arranged an entrapment formation at the exit in advance. From this, he understood that someone had already planned to catch them all in one fell swoop. He was just unlucky to be the first to escape, and ended up being stopped. Boom! Because Ningqing had used the twin wings of the heavenly clouds to escape, the weapons attacking Ningqing all ended up hitting a corner of the perpetual moon pill pond. This time, the perpetual moon pill pond trembled and shook. It felt as if the perpetual moon pill pond would collapse in the next moment. However, at this time, no one paid any attention to the perpetual moon pill pond. All the people had once again surrounded Ningqing. Ningqing quickly spoke up. Someone used an array formation to seal off the way out. This means that we all have to stay in here. If you continue to attack me, you will end up being killed by someone else. Boom boom boom. More than a dozen weapons still shot towards Ningqing. Some even shouted out that Ningqing had the twin wings of the heavenly clouds. Ningqing once again stimulated the twin wings of the heavenly clouds and dodged from a distance. The space in this place was already very small. If Ningqing did not have the twin wings of the heavenly clouds, he would not have been able to escape. However, Ningqing's words seemed to have worked. Some of the cultivators, who had obtained a lot of perpetual moon pills, gave up on attacking Ningqing, and instead wanted to get out. As a result, just as Ningqing said, the exit had been sealed. The exit really has been sealed. A cultivator shouted out. His shout immediately caused the cultivators who were still chasing after Ningqing to stop. Another violent roar sounded out, and the perpetual moon pill pond, which had been trembling due to the bombardment, suddenly collapsed completely. A pale golden pill the size of an egg was pushed out of the pond and rushed towards the top of the hall. It's the Celestial River Essence Chi King pill. With the appearance of the Celestial River Essence Chi King pill, almost everyone forgot about the sealed exit, and forgot about chasing after Ningqing. At this time, the cultivators here only had one purpose: to snatch the celestial river essence Qi King pill. Chapter 541. Ningcheng did not try to snatch the celestial river essence Qi King pill. One reason was that he knew that even if he managed to snatch this king pill, he would still face a siege. Another reason was that he did not need this king pill right now. With so many perpetual moon pills in hand, the first thing he wanted to do was to find a place to cultivate. Want to leave? I've been waiting for you for a long time. Ningcheng was just about to break the array formation sealing the entrance when a sharp voice arrived in his ears. The moment he heard the voice, a black light appeared in front of him without any warning. Ningcheng's domain stretched out in an instant, and the black light immediately slowed down under Ningcheng's domain. Ningcheng's domain won him the blink of an eye, allowing Ningcheng to bring out his Nirvana spear and blow away the black light. What a powerful domain! The sharp voice exclaimed, and the violent celestial essence once again stirred up the surrounding space. Ningcheng had just seen the appearance of the cultivator who sneaked up on him when he heard a violent explosion, and everything in front of him turned gray. The cultivator who sneaked up on him did not continue to attack Ningcheng. Instead, he grabbed an array disc, and his figure flashed before disappearing from Ningcheng's sight. What was the problem? This fellow actually gave up on sneaking up on him and escaped first. He even took away his array disc. Didn't this mean that he did not want to stop the cultivators inside? Ningcheng had just thought of this when he felt like he was surrounded by time. His life flowed away like a river without a dam. Who broke the perpetual moon fort's time wheel? Hurry up or we'll all die. A shout rang out, and then a ray of light rushed out from Ningcheng's side. The reason why Ningcheng did not rush out immediately was that the moment he felt his life slipping away, his spiritual consciousness saw a half-foot-long key. It was a dark gray key, suspended above the broken perpetual moon pill lake, and slowly becoming clearer. If not for his powerful spiritual consciousness, he would not have been able to see this key at all. This was the perpetual moon time key. Ruan Mingshu said that the most precious thing in the perpetual moon fort was the perpetual moon time key. Ningcheng did not even think about it, and with a wave of the twin wings of the heavenly clouds, he flashed past. At this moment, all the cultivators rushed out of the perpetual moon fort, except for Ningcheng. Some of the cultivators had white hair before they could even reach the entrance. There were even some cultivators whose lifespans ran out midway, falling from the sky and dying on the spot. The moment Ningcheng grabbed the perpetual moontime key, his hair started to turn white. Not waiting for him to wield the twin wings of the heavenly clouds again, the terrifying flow of time completely surrounded him. At this moment, Ningcheng knew that if he continued to rush out, he would also die of old age in this short stretch of road. Ningcheng did not hesitate, and immediately entered the mysterious yellow bead. No matter how terrifying the flow of time was, it could not penetrate into Ningcheng's mysterious yellow bead. Ningcheng's spiritual consciousness swept out and found that his hair had turned gray, causing him to feel horrified in his heart. The laws of time were simply too terrifying. How long had it been? He had already consumed so much of his lifespan. Desperately trying to obtain this perpetual moontime key, was it worth it? Ningcheng had just entered the mysterious yellow bead when the bottom of the perpetual moon lake collapsed, causing endless explosions to erupt in the center of the perpetual moon lake. The entire perpetual moon lake, under the terrifying explosion, turned into dust. Dozens of cultivators who managed to escape from the bottom of the perpetual moon lake stood by the lakeside and looked at the perpetual moon lake that had completely disappeared. Everyone knew that the cultivators who had not come out were finished. Even if they were not taken away by the terrifying flow of time, the explosions at the bottom of the perpetual moon lake would definitely turn them into ashes. This kind of explosion was mixed with the laws of time. Not to mention a celestial scryer cultivator. Even if a celestial river cultivator came, what could they do? Ruan Mingshu stood by the lakeside and stared at the disappearing perpetual moon lake. She did not expect that Ningcheng would end up dying in the perpetual moon lake. Junior apprentice sister Mingshu, let's go. Zhao Yinxiang came over and interrupted Ruan Mingshu's thoughts. Ruan Mingshu glanced at Zhao Yinxiang and spoke with a faint voice. Senior apprentice brother Zhao, the cooperation is over. We no longer have anything to do with each other. Let's go our separate ways, not together. That Ningcheng was too greedy and ended up being taken away by the flow of time. It was something that couldn't be helped. Don't think too much about it. After all, you don't owe him anything. Zhao Yinxiang felt comfortable about Ningcheng dying in the Perpetual Moon Fort. He had only lost some of his lifespan, and the Perpetual Moon pills he obtained could easily make up for the lost cultivation. Yuan Mingshu spoke up calmly. Whether senior apprentice brother Ning died or not, it has nothing to do with us. Senior apprentice brother Zhao, if you don't want others to know about it, then don't do it yourself. You provoked Lu Xiao to attack Ningcheng. I'm not the only one who knows about it. After Yuan Mingshu finished, she instantly changed directions and left the Perpetual Moon Lake. Seeing the explosions at the center of the Perpetual Moon Lake gradually subsiding, several cultivators who were unwilling to leave wanted to go and take a look. However, before they could reach the center of the lake, the terrifying flow of time once again swept away a part of their lifespan. These cultivators immediately fled, and in just a short time, not a single person could be seen at the edge of the Perpetual Moon Lake. As Ningcheng's spiritual consciousness swept out, he immediately knew that something had happened to the Perpetual Moon Fort. With the violent explosions raging around, he could not get out at all. What's more, even without these explosions, he could not get out. The terrifying flow of time would take away his lifespan in an instant. Ningcheng looked at the Perpetual Moon Time key in his hand. It was a half-foot-long key with a variety of restrictions engraved all over it. Despite looking at it for a long time, Ningcheng could not see anything. Putting the key into his ring, Ningcheng arranged a 5-elements array formation around him. His mysterious yellow bead's origin was not complete. As such, anything that entered the mysterious yellow bead would turn into nothingness after a long time. The 5-elements array formation would also turn into nothingness. However, the things inside the 5-elements array formation did not have much of an impact. Initially, Ningcheng thought that the flow of time outside would soon dissipate. But after observing it for a few days, Ningcheng realized that the flow of time outside would not disappear so quickly. Although the explosions outside due to the compression of time had indeed disappeared, the flow of time remained the same. As soon as his spiritual consciousness swept out, it immediately disappeared without a trace. Under this terrifying flow of time, not to mention people, even spiritual consciousness could not survive. This rapid flow of time made Ningcheng afraid to go out. He feared that once he went out, he would immediately be taken away by the flow of time. At this time, Ningcheng could only stay inside the mysterious yellow bead and continue to arrange his 5-elements array formation. 10 days passed by, 1 month passed by, 3 months passed by. Ningcheng slowly calmed down from his anxiety. Instead of waiting anxiously, it was better to arrange the 5-elements array formation and study the Tao of Arrays jade strip given to him by Tang Yu. Another 3 months passed by, and Ningcheng's Tao of Arrays advanced from a Grade 1 Celestial Array Master to a Grade 2 Celestial Array Master. However, the flow of time outside still did not stop. Ningcheng began to carefully control the movement of the mysterious yellow bead. He believed that under this terrifying flow of time, it was absolutely impossible for any cultivators to come here. Even their spiritual consciousness would not be able to sweep in. As long as no cultivators came here, his mysterious yellow bead would not be exposed. To control the movement of the mysterious yellow bead, Ningcheng's spiritual consciousness had to constantly permeate out. Under this flow of time, Ningcheng's spiritual consciousness would disappear the moment it went out. Initially, Ningcheng, in order to protect himself, was very careful when he permeated out his spiritual consciousness. However, in the end, Ningcheng completely ignored this caution and continued to permeate out his spiritual consciousness. At this point, he no longer wanted to control the mysterious yellow bead. Instead, under the rapid passage of time, he touched upon a law that could not be expressed in words. Ningcheng suppressed the ecstasy in his heart. He felt sure that this was a feeling brought about by the passage of time. He knew that even eternal-level experts might not be able to comprehend the laws of time. Moreover, the laws of time were far stronger than ordinary laws. He had never expected himself to comprehend the laws of time. But now that he could touch the surface of this law, he felt very satisfied. Even if his spiritual consciousness was consumed, even if his lifespan was reduced, this touch would bring him immeasurable benefits in the future. Not knowing for how long, Ning Cheng's perception came to an abrupt halt. His spiritual consciousness fell outside the mysterious yellow bead, and no longer felt the flow of time. Ning Cheng's eyes showed extreme disappointment. He knew that this was not because he had comprehended the laws of time, but because the flow of time outside had finally stopped. Ning Cheng came out of the mysterious yellow bead, and swept out with his spiritual consciousness to the surrounding ruins. This place seemed like an ordinary place, and he was just buried in this ordinary ground. The perpetual moon fort had disappeared, and the perpetual moon lake had disappeared. He had no idea where the celestial river essence Qi King pill went, or perhaps someone had taken it away. This was not a place to stay for a long time. He had to leave as soon as possible. Ning Cheng had just thought of this when his spiritual consciousness stopped once again. His spiritual consciousness once again found something that allowed him to touch upon time. It was not a kind of passage of time, but a kind of stone. 3 dark gray stones appeared in the range of his spiritual consciousness, not far from him. Ning Cheng immediately rushed over and grabbed the 3 stones in his hand. The feeling of the passage of time, or perhaps the vicissitudes of life, once again touched him. These must be time stones. Ning Cheng's heart started to beat wildly. He quickly took out 3 empty jade boxes and put the 3 time stones inside. Time stones were extremely precious. Ning Cheng had entered the time wilderness for 3 years, but this was the first time he saw a time stone. After Ning Cheng put away the 3 time stones, his spiritual consciousness once again started searching around. To his regret, his luck seemed to have run out, as he could not find a single time stone in this place. Since the passage of time had disappeared, sooner or later, someone would find this place. Ning Cheng came out of the ground and quickly rushed out, quickly disappearing from the outside of the perpetual moon lake. Half a month later, Ning Cheng stopped in a barren gravel field. He put on the middle-grade Dao artifact mask and once again transformed into a bearded starry skies wanderer. The original Ning Cheng had already died in the perpetual moon fort. Even if he wanted to appear again, he would need to change his identity. Otherwise, it would bring him endless troubles. After changing his appearance, Ning Cheng was about to dig an immortal cave and try out the effects of the perpetual moon pill when his spiritual consciousness unexpectedly found Xin Qinyu. However, Xin Qinyu's situation was obviously not good. She was lying on a stone, gasping for breath, while her body was covered in blood. Chapter 542. He and Xin Qinyu had an agreement, and Xin Qinyu had invited him to help her in this place. However, he had not received any message from Xin Qinyu. Ning Cheng did not expect to see this woman again, but found her injured. Just when Ning Cheng hesitated to go over, his spiritual consciousness swept over a man and a woman. The 2 of them also suffered some minor injuries. However, from the looks of it, they seemed to be chasing after Xin Qinyu. Xin Qinyu lay on the stone for a moment before rushing over to Ning Cheng's side. Ning Cheng had to come out of the thistles forest. Xin Qinyu had helped him a few times in the past, so helping her today was not a big deal. However, he felt a little strange in his heart. Xin Qinyu's strength was not low, and she even had a talisman that could force back celestial bridge cultivators. So how could she escape from 2 celestial gatherer cultivators? Ning Cheng's sudden appearance in front of her made Xin Qinyu stop. By the time she found out that Ning Cheng was not the one blocking her, the man and woman had already caught up to her. The man and woman only glanced at Ning Cheng before focusing their attention on Xin Qinyu. Apparently, the 2 of them did not put Ning Cheng in their eyes. Ning Cheng was a cultivator with white hair and a face filled with vicissitudes of life, without even a single celestial wheel. With just a glance, one could tell that he was a rogue cultivator who had lived a miserable life. Such a person, they could kill him with just a raise of their hand. Yifeng, you go kill that ant. I'll keep an eye on that woman. She can't escape. The long-haired woman glanced at Ning Cheng and did not hesitate to sentence Ning Cheng to death. Okay. The male cultivator responded, and a red ring appeared suspended over his head. Shen Qingyu suddenly shouted. Stop, this matter has nothing to do with others. After saying that, Shen Qingyu turned to Ning Cheng and spoke. You can leave. This has nothing to do with you. Leave. Can you even leave? The male cultivator's triangular eyes narrowed, and the red ring over his head turned into thousands of ring shadows that covered Ning Cheng. As these thousands of ring shadows descended, the surrounding space turned completely red, and a powerful binding force enveloped Ning Cheng, making it difficult to breathe. If replaced by Ning Cheng, who had just advanced to the celestial novice realm, he would have desperately torn apart this red ring space and tried to find a way to escape. However, after experiencing many battles, Ning Cheng had long since understood that this was only a means to support one's domain. Compared to his celestial river domain, it was far inferior. Ning Cheng opened his hand and brought out the Nirvana spear. At the same time, a powerful celestial river domain erupted from it. The celestial river domain immediately blocked off the space created by the red ring created by the male cultivator's red ring, and an invisible catcha sound rang out. Everyone around could hear it clearly. This was an obvious domain suppression. At this moment, how could this male cultivator not know that Ning Cheng was an expert? In a panic, he raised his hands and shot out dozens of talismans. Such a rich guy, Ning Cheng himself had also used talismans against his enemies. He knew that the person who used so many talismans against the enemy was either a rich guy or a talisman grandmaster. Although Ning Cheng had not refined any talismans after advancing to the celestial scryer realm, he had a good understanding of talismans. Although the attacks from these talismans looked terrifying, the truth was that these talismans were not high-grade goods. The best way was to bring out the everlasting Blue Thunder City, and then shoot out with the Nirvana spear. It's just that the everlasting Blue Thunder Fort had a lot to do with it. Therefore, Ning Cheng didn't bring out the everlasting Blue Thunder Fort. Instead, he once again stimulated his celestial river domain. The celestial river domain transformed from a flat surface to a three-dimensional one without any gaps. Compared to Ning Cheng's domain, the male cultivator's domain was not just a level lower. Therefore, when Ning Cheng fully stimulated his domain to attack, the raging celestial river flames within the domain could no longer be hidden. When the flames and the dozen talismans collided, they immediately exploded. Boom boom boom. The explosions of the talismans, the burning of the flames, and the horrifying temperature turned the entire area into a sea of fire. Ning Cheng brought out the Nirvana spear, and drew out a mysterious spear line along with a hint of thunder before shooting out. The triangular-eyed male cultivator felt shocked when he saw Ning Cheng's celestial river domain blocking his endless talismans. However, before he could bring out a weapon to attack Ning Cheng again, Ning Cheng's Nirvana spear had already arrived in front of him. Even when his red ring domain was completely suppressed by Ning Cheng's celestial river domain, he could not stop the terrifying spear intent of this spear. Catcha. The celestial essence shield in front of the triangular-eyed male cultivator, under Ning Cheng's Nirvana spear intent, shattered like a piece of paper. The male cultivator only had enough time to move his head a little, but he still could not stop Ning Cheng's Nirvana spear from piercing through his head. "You clan will not let you go." The male cultivator screamed out before Ning Cheng's spear exploded and killed him. Ning Cheng felt very satisfied with his series of attacks. First, he used his celestial river domain to completely suppress the opponent's domain. Even the opponent's talismans were suppressed by the celestial river domain. Then he used his Nirvana spear to kill the opponent. After the continuous battles, the Tao discussion convention, and his own secluded cultivation, Ning Cheng's attacks finally had an embryonic form. If this male cultivator, whom he killed, knew that he had not even used his full strength, Ning Cheng could not imagine what he would think. In fact, Ning Cheng knew that he had not even brought out half of his strength. Not to mention that he had not even used his two killing moves, the nothingness flame pattern spear and traceless. He had not even brought out the wishful demon axe, let alone the everlasting Blue Thunder City. At this moment, Ning Cheng felt an urgent need to fight Lu Pingchuan. He wanted to use his celestial shatterer cultivation to kill this self-righteous genius. Ah! The female cultivator staring at Shen Qingyu also reacted. She screamed and suddenly brought out an escape talisman. In just a blink of an eye, she disappeared without a trace. Ningqing looked at the fluctuating space in front of him and thought to himself, this man and woman have so many talismans. Shen Qinyu also felt shocked at Ningqing's strength. A cultivator without a celestial wheel. At most a celestial novice cultivator. How could he be so terrifying? She immediately thought of Ningqing. Ningqing also did not have a celestial wheel. However, Ningqing was not as powerful as this rogue cultivator named Wanderer. It was just that her injuries were too severe at this moment, and she could only lie down on the ground and gasp for breath. Are you okay? Ningqing walked up to Shen Qinyu and asked. Shen Qinyu did not answer Ningqing's question. Instead, she looked at Ningqing and spoke. I know who you are. Ningqing felt surprised in his heart. He did not reveal even half a shred of his aura. How did Shen Qinyu recognize him? If Shen Qinyu could recognize him, didn't it mean that others could also recognize him? You are called Wanderer, and had once stayed in the celestial forest arena of the revolving Jade City for a while. Unfortunately, I had something to do at that time, and could not go and watch your fight. Thank you for saving me. My name is Shen Qinyu. Shen Qinyu spoke after a few gasps. Ningqing felt slightly relieved in his heart. He thought that Shen Qinyu had really recognized him. In fact, if not for Shen Qinyu's broken meridians, which prevented her from releasing out her spiritual consciousness, as well as the celestial river flame in Ningqing's domain, Shen Qinyu would have already recognized Ningqing. That's right, I am indeed that starry skies wanderer. If you have nothing else to say, then I will take my leave. Ningqing had a lot of things to take care of right now. He needed some time to go into seclusion. Shen Qinyu quickly spoke up. Wait, I need your help. My meridians are broken. I need to find a place to heal. Ningqing felt shocked in his heart. Broken meridians, this was not a minor injury. Even if he had the mysterious yellow origin, which could repair his meridians, this kind of injury was still a serious injury for him, not to mention Shen Qinyu. Seeing that Shen Qinyu wanted to continue speaking, Ningqing knew that she wanted to talk about the remuneration. Ningqing waved his hand and spoke. I'll take you to a place to heal. We can talk about it later. Thank you. Shen Qinyu did not refuse Ningqing's help. She knew that she had no other choice. If this wanderer in front of her wanted to harm her in the slightest, she would not be able to refuse him. Ningqing stepped forward and picked up Shen Qinyu. Unfolding his body, he quickly left. Shen Qinyu, on seeing that Ningqing had only supported her back and legs, felt slightly relaxed in her heart. At the same time, she also felt very grateful towards Ningqing. If Ningqing wanted to carry her on his back or hug her, she would not have any way to refuse. Ningqing obviously took into account her identity as a female cultivator. At this moment, Shen Qinyu secretly rejoiced in her heart. Fortunately, she had a mask-type weapon. A day later, Ningqing brought Shen Qinyu to a barren hill and dug out a small immortal cave in it. The immortal cave had 2 cultivation rooms, one for him and one for Shen Qinyu. Shen Qinyu's meridians were currently broken. If she had to recover in this place alone, it would definitely be dangerous for her. You are a different kind of starry skies wanderer. Shen Qinyu sat on the bed that Ningqing had brought out and spoke up once again with gratitude. Because starry skies wanderers were always on the verge of death, it resulted in most starry skies wanderers having a perverse and irritable temperament. However, Ningqing not only saved her, but also took her to a quiet place to heal. This showed that he was indeed a different kind of starry skies wanderer. Ningqing showed a slight smile and spoke. I'm going into seclusion here for a while. If you need my help, you can call me. Thank you. After you go out, be careful of the Yu clan. Shen Qinyu, on seeing Ningqing not asking anything, felt even more favorable towards Ningqing. Ningqing quickly asked, was that triangular-eyed fellow I killed from the Yu clan? What are their origins? Why should I be careful of the Yu clan? Shen Qinyu spoke up slowly. The Yu clan is a very famous talisman family within the striking order Starry Skies. The Yu clan's talismans are very famous. One can even say that all the powerful talismans within the striking order Starry Skies originate from the Yu clan. Moreover, in addition to talismans, the Yu clan also possesses amazing strength. They even have a starry skies cultivator in the heavens mandate realm. The planet they live on is called the Dai Yuan star, and the celestial lord of this planet is a member of the Yu clan. The male cultivator you killed before is called Yu Yifeng, and the woman who escaped is called Yuan. The two of them are cousins and are also husband and wife. The Yu clan believes that their bloodline is the purest and rarely intermarry with people with other surnames. As long as this woman can get out of here alive, the Yu clan will definitely put you on the wanted list. Because of the powerful contribution of the Yu clan in the field of talismans, even Heavenly Emperor Striking Order looks at the Yu clan in a different light. If the Yu clan puts you on the wanted list, no one would care about it. Ningcheng did not take Shen Qinyu's words to heart. Besides, after coming out of the time wilderness, Ningcheng planned to leave the Striking Order starry skies and explore the vast world. If he wanted to return to the place he wanted to go, even if it was not too far away, he had to go further. Ningcheng was very clear about this truth and understood it very well. Chapter 543. Ningcheng did not cultivate. Although he obtained a lot of perpetual moon pills, he did not want to cultivate with Shen Qinyu. Perpetual moon pills contain pure starry sky essence qi. Therefore, once he used perpetual moon pills for cultivation, he felt sure that Shen Qinyu would be able to detect it. For the past 2 months, Ningcheng had been studying array formations. He had been constantly arranging 5-element array formations in the mysterious yellow bead, with only one purpose, to store the time stones. If he hadn't seen the time stone, then it would have been fine. But now that Ningcheng saw the time stone and obtained it, how could he not know that this thing was many times more precious than the fire origin crystals? Only a fool would take out such a good thing and hand it over to Striking Order Heavenly Emperor. In the future, Ningcheng also hoped to use the time stone in his hand to pry into the mysteries of the laws of time. 2 months later, after Ningcheng became a grade 3 celestial array master, he did not continue to study array formations. For him, it was time to find a place to go into secluded cultivation. With so many perpetual moon pills, he estimated that his cultivation should be able to rise to another level. Have you recovered? Ningcheng opened the restrictions covering the immortal cave and looked at Shen Qinyu, who had already come out of the immortal cave, in surprise. Meridians ruptured. It was definitely a serious injury. However, Shen Qinyu managed to recover so easily. From this, one could tell that Shen Qinyu had a powerful trump card. Shen Qinyu nodded and spoke. I have indeed recovered and wanted to discuss something with you. Ningcheng invited Shen Qinyu into his immortal cave and asked, What's the matter? Please tell me, I'm also planning to leave this place. Your cultivation method is quite special. It does not even have a celestial wheel. Shen Qinyu unexpectedly spoke out an irrelevant sentence. Ningcheng showed a faint smile. I also have a celestial wheel, but I hid it. Hidden celestial wheels? Shen Qinyu's eyes flashed with surprise, before she smiled and spoke. Do you know about the Sea of Twilight? I've heard of it. Ningcheng nodded. The stupid cow in his ring had escaped from the Sea of Twilight. Moreover, its first owner had also fallen in the Sea of Twilight. The Sea of Twilight has 2 extremely precious things. One is the Twilight Sand, and the other is the Time Stone. Shen Qinyu said. I have heard of time stones, but what is this Twilight Sand? Ningcheng quickly asked. The previous owner of this stupid cow had also fallen in the Sea of Twilight. Was it because of the Twilight Sand? Shen Qinyu looked at Ningcheng and spoke. This is what I wanted to discuss with you. Twilight Sand is one of the best artifact crafting materials within the starry skies. One could even say that it is the best artifact crafting material within the Striking Order starry skies. Every single pellet was a priceless treasure. It was said that magic treasures refined from this kind of material carried faint time laws and were incomparably powerful. Many starry skies in the universe knew about the Striking Order starry skies because of the Twilight Sand. Many of the cultivators who came and wanted to go to the Sea of Twilight to get the Twilight Sand. Ningcheng's heart immediately moved. With the growth of his cultivation, his Nirvana spear obviously could not be used as a common weapon. He needed a spear that truly belonged to him. He had a material that even Song Wei did not know about. If he added the twilight sand into the mix, then in the future he would be able to refine a long spear. It would definitely be extraordinary. He had the time stones, and Ningcheng believed that one day, he would eventually touch upon the laws of time. If he touched the law of time and obtained a spear with the law of time, then what? Thinking of this, Ningcheng's eyes flashed with passion. Ningcheng's passion and eagerness, Shen Qinyu immediately saw through it. She suddenly spoke up, "Senior apprentice brother wanderer, I know that you have extraordinary skills, but we can cooperate. I have some understanding of the Sea of Twilight. Let's go to the Sea of Twilight together, and look for the twilight sand and time stones." "What can I help you with?" Ningcheng asked. Shen Qinyu gave a sigh and spoke. "I found a very good partner. He has a strange heaven and earth flame. If we could contact him, then our chances of success would increase by 20%. However, after I came in, I tried to contact him. Even after trying for 2 years, I still could not get any news from him. Later, I lost my communication pearl, and could not contact him at all. The time wilderness is filled with dangers. Besides that flame, his cultivation can only be regarded as average. I'm afraid that I might not be able to make it out alive." Ningcheng then realized that Shen Qinyu had contacted him more than once. Should he tell Shen Qinyu about his identity? Ningcheng quickly discarded this idea. Once he told Shen Qinyu about his identity, it would mean that the news of him not dying after entering the perpetual moon lake would come to light. Moreover, he and Shen Qinyu were not familiar with each other. However, what made Ningcheng wonder was how did Shen Qinyu know that he had a flame? Did Shen Qinyu discover the celestial river hidden in his domain 2 months ago? If that was the case, then Shen Qinyu's spiritual consciousness must be very powerful. Thinking of this, Ningcheng asked, "I heard that heaven and earth flames are very difficult to obtain. Are you sure that your friend has this flame? Moreover, why does the Sea of Twilight need this flame?" "I'm sure. I've met him before, and we came here together from the Orchid Burrow Celestial River." The Orchid Burrow Celestial River's battleship encountered the Starry Sky's spirit-devouring rat tide. The moment I left, I saw him using the flame to open a path. As for why the Sea of Twilight needs this flame, I'm not very clear about it. I just heard from the information I obtained that with this flame, the chances of success would be much higher. Shen Qinyu answered Ningcheng's words in a very serious manner. From this, it could be seen that she had been thinking about cooperating with Ningcheng for a long time. Ningcheng immediately understood that when he used the flame to escape, Shen Qinyu had unexpectedly seen it. From Shen Qinyu's words, he understood that Shen Qinyu had only seen him using the flame to burn the spirit-devouring rats, and had not seen him using the twin wings of the heavenly clouds, which made him feel slightly relieved. "All right, I agree to cooperate with you. However, you have to tell me some basic information about the Sea of Twilight, and..." "That's right, I want to ask you a question." Ningcheng seemed to have thought of something and suddenly asked. Shen Qinyu, on hearing that Ningcheng was willing to cooperate, felt her heart loosen up. Since she could not contact Ningcheng, then the chances of her going to the Sea of Twilight by herself were very slim. "You can ask. As long as I know it, I will definitely tell you," Shen Qinyu replied with a very happy tone. Even if Ningcheng did not want to cooperate with her, Ningcheng had still saved her life. As such, she would definitely answer some of the questions that she knew about Ningcheng. Ningcheng spoke with an awkward tone. "Because I am a rogue cultivator, I do not have a master, and have been wandering the starry skies for a long time. As such, there are some questions that I do not understand when it comes to cultivation." When Shen Qinyu heard that it was a question related to cultivation, she showed a smile and spoke, "It doesn't matter. Although my cultivation is not high, I have been exposed to a variety of cultivation systems since I was a child. Although I might not be able to answer some of the more profound questions, I can still discuss some of the ordinary questions with you." "Okay." Ningcheng no longer remained polite. "After I advanced to the Celestial Shatterer realm many years ago, there was no thunder tribulation. What is going on?" Ningcheng did not say that he advanced to the Celestial Shatterer realm in the Time Wilderness. He believed that even if he advanced in the Time Wilderness, a thunder tribulation should have descended. Shen Qinyu, on hearing Ningcheng's words, stared at Ningcheng for a while without speaking. Ningcheng could see some pity in Shen Qinyu's eyes and an indescribable feeling. He spoke up with some embarrassment. If it's not easy to answer, then forget it. It's not a big deal. When Shen Qinyu heard Ningcheng's question, she couldn't help but feel a little sad in her heart. Compared to this Starry Skies wanderer's poor cultivation knowledge, her cultivation knowledge could be described as luxurious and rich. Do you have few friends and rarely go to parties? Shen Qinyu's tone turned incomparably soft. Ningcheng could also feel the change in Shen Qinyu's tone. From the tone of a friend, it had changed to that of an incomparably gentle big sister next door. Although he did not know what Shen Qinyu meant, Ningcheng still gave an end sound and spoke. Yes, I am a Starry Skies wanderer. I have always been exploring my own path, and do not have any friends. Shen Qinyu looked at Ningcheng and spoke up with an even softer gaze. The truth is that from the Celestial Novice Realm to the Celestial Shatterer Realm, and then to the Celestial Gatherer Realm, there is no thunder tribulation. Only when advancing from the Celestial Gatherer Realm to the Celestial Bridge Realm would a thunder tribulation appear. Similarly, there was no thunder tribulation within the 3 realms of the Star River Realm. Only when advancing from the Heaven's Mandate Realm to the Heaven-Seated Realm would there be a thunder tribulation. Moreover, this lightning tribulation was extremely terrifying. If one was not careful, they would die. But after the Sky Realm, every time you advance, there will be a powerful thunder tribulation. Ningcheng felt countless alpacas galloping in his heart. He finally understood why Shen Qinyu looked at him with such a sympathetic and soft gaze. This was something that even a 3-year-old child would know. Yet he actually asked Shen Qinyu about it. He was a Celestial Shatterer cultivator. Yet he did not even know about the existence of a thunder tribulation. In fact, I think you are the truly amazing one. Without any guidance, you managed to cultivate to the Celestial Shatterer realm by yourself. Even ordinary geniuses would not dare to compare to you. Apparently seeing Ningcheng's awkward expression, Shen Qinyu took the initiative to comfort him. Similarly, she also understood why Ningcheng did not have a celestial wheel. It was definitely not because Ningcheng had concealed his celestial wheel, but because Ningcheng had figured out his cultivation method by himself. It was already a great fortune for him to cultivate to the Celestial Shatterer realm, without suffering from cultivation deviation. How could he dare to have a celestial wheel? She did not doubt Ningcheng's combat prowess. Starry Skies wanderers generally had powerful combat prowess. Moreover, Ningcheng had already proven his formidable combat prowess in the Celestial Forest Arena. Can you tell me what are the 3 realms of the Celestial River Realm? Ningcheng's words interrupted Shen Qinyu's thoughts. Since he had already asked such a ridiculous question, he might as well ask a few more. Shen Qinyu carefully explained to Ningcheng. The 3 realms of the Celestial Scryer Realm are when a cultivator crosses the Nirvana Tribulation, transforming their true essence into celestial essence, which then forms a celestial wheel. According to the strength of one's celestial essence, it is divided into 3 realms. I won't talk about it, but you must have already understood a bit about it. The first realm of the 3 realms of the Celestial River Realm is the Celestial Bridge. When the celestial wheel starts to fuse, it forms a celestial bridge cultivator. At the same time, a celestial bridge cultivator's comprehension ability and spirit techniques would greatly increase. Moreover, the more powerful the celestial bridge, the more powerful the celestial essence support. When a cultivator cultivates to the point that their body is damaged and can regenerate, they would then enter the undead realm. Cultivators in the undead realm are divided into strong and weak. However, even the most powerful cultivator in the undead realm would need a corporeal body to regenerate. As for cultivators in the Heaven's Mandate realm, they would be able to glimpse a trace of their own destiny. Heaven's Mandate cultivators are the highest realm in the Celestial River Realm. Chapter 544. Good. Within the Sea of Twilight, one's spiritual consciousness can only extend within a radius of 3 feet. Let's stick close to each other, and not get separated. Shen Qinyu finished, before taking the first step into the Sea of Twilight. After the 2 walked for an hour within the Sea of Twilight, Shen Qingyu was just about to let go of Ning Cheng's hand when she heard Ning Cheng speak up. There seems to be a time stone in front of us. I can feel the flow of time. Ning Cheng pulled up Shen Qingyu, who was sitting on the ground, and looked at her ragged appearance, before speaking up in an apologetic voice. I'm sorry, I didn't know that we couldn't fly in this place. At the same time, Shen Qingyu's voice once again arrived. Don't let go of my hand for the time being. You have not yet adapted to the Sea of Twilight. Once you let go of my hand, we might end up losing each other. Junior apprentice Sister Shen, are you also representing the Orchid Burrow Celestial River? Half a day later, Ning Cheng asked all the questions he wanted to ask and took the initiative to change the topic. Shen Qingyu showed a faint smile. Even if Striking Order Holy Emperor cultivated for another 1,000,000 years, he would still not be able to stand side by side with the Perpetual Moon Holy Emperor. Even if they were both Heavenly Emperors, Striking Order Heavenly Emperor still lagged behind. Within the vast starry skies, Striking Order Heavenly Emperor didn't count for much. If not for Striking Order Starry Sky's poverty, Striking Order Heavenly Emperor's Striking Order Starry Sky would have already changed its name. What is the value of the Perpetual Moon Time Key? Ning Cheng quickly asked. This was what he cared about the most. The Perpetual Moon Time Key was in his ring, but he had no idea what was so precious about it. Ning Cheng felt shocked. He did not know what was going on. He quickly reached out and pulled Shen Qingyu closer, wanting to let her fall to the ground. Shen Qingyu shook her head. I don't know. I only know that it was left behind by the Perpetual Moon Holy Emperor. Just like the Time Wilderness, it also belongs to the Perpetual Moon Holy Emperor. Shen Qingyu showed a smile. No, I came to the Orchid Burrow Celestial River to enter the Time Wilderness. In fact, there are many cultivators like me who came from other starry skies. I entered the Time Wilderness for two things, the most important of which is the Perpetual Moon Time Key. Of course. Ning Cheng gave a calm smile. Riches and honor came from danger. This sentence was equally applicable to Starry Skies cultivators. This is the deepest part of the Sea of Twilight. No one can come here by themselves. The cultivators who can come to this place were all sucked in by the time maelstrom. As such, it is absolutely impossible for them to get out. In Ning Cheng's impression, Shen Qingyu, who had always been relatively calm, spoke with a trembling voice. From this, one could tell that she feared the depths of the Sea of Twilight. Shen Qingyu's trembling voice arrived. We can no longer get out. Ning Cheng did not hesitate and followed Shen Qingyu inside. He quickly discovered that his spiritual consciousness did not have a range of only 3 feet like what Shen Qingyu had said. Rather, his spiritual consciousness encompassed a radius of 10 miles. Shen Qingyu, on the other hand, did not show even half a shred of impatience. Instead, she still spoke in a soft tone. That's right. The venue for the finals is called Grand Culmination Starry Skies. In our positional plane, Grand Culmination Starry Skies is one of the 4 Grand Starry Skies, and also the central location of the entire Grand Culmination Starry Skies. Don't fly up. Ning Cheng heard Shen Qingyu's screams, while at the same time, he saw a burst of light erupt from the place where he had just stood. If he had been just a little bit slower, he would have been ambushed by this ball of light. What about the 3 realms of destiny? Ning Cheng was like a studious student. Thank you. After Ning Cheng replied with 2 words, he was just about to pull out his hand when he found that Shen Qingyu's hand was still holding on to his. After that, she looked up at Ning Cheng. The fear on her face had already disappeared, and even her voice did not tremble like before. You don't have to feel guilty. I didn't explain it clearly. I was the one who encouraged you to come here. In this place, there is no way to get out. If the 2 of us were to talk, then maybe we could die a little easier. Shen Qingyu once again tore off a strip of cloth from her tattered robes. After tying it around her wrist, she used the other end to tie Ning Cheng's wrist and spoke. I can only see about 10 feet around me from here. I can't use my spiritual consciousness anymore. If we don't tie each other up, I'm afraid that we would soon be separated. This was not the first time that he had come into contact with Shen Qingyu. In his impression, this woman was somewhat mysterious. Rip. Ning Cheng could clearly hear Shen Qingyu's robes being torn apart. A faint bloody aura spread out. and a powerful force tried to sweep Shen Qinyu away. When Ningcheng heard Shen Qinyu's explanation, he frowned slightly. Should he enter the Sea of Twilight? Speaking of time stones, he already had 3 of them. Was it worth it to take the risk? I know that there are many starry skies outside of the striking order starry skies. After the tryouts come out, do we have to go to the biggest starry skies in the universe to participate in the finals? Ningcheng truly had a lot of questions. Now that he had caught hold of Shen Qinyu, he might as well ask her about it. Hearing Ningcheng's words, Shen Qinyu immediately grabbed Ningcheng's hand and spoke. Senior apprentice brother wanderer, you should hurry up and follow the direction you feel. Just as Ningcheng was still indulging in flights of fancy, a warm and soft hand grabbed his hand, followed by Shen Qinyu's voice. Senior apprentice brother wanderer, in the Sea of Twilight, you must not stop. You have to keep moving around, that way, your lifespan will not decline. Once you stop in a place, your lifespan will quickly decline. Shen Qinyu was a very knowledgeable person. No matter what Ningcheng asked, she could always answer it in a way that Ningcheng could easily understand. After talking to Shen Qinyu, Ningcheng felt that he had benefited a lot. However, the powerful force did not allow Ningcheng to do so. He could only feel the endless tearing blade lights slamming into his body. At the same time, a horrifying force swept him away. He could not even bring out his twin wings of the heavenly clouds. He could not resist the blade lights, nor could he resist the power sweeping towards him. Shen Qinyu answered with patience. If a cultivator in the Heaven's Mandate realm can cut off all impurities and successfully surmount the tribulation, they would be able to advance to the Heaven-seated realm and become a powerhouse in the Heaven-seated realm. Heaven-seated powerhouses can break through life and death and advance to the life and death realm after understanding yin and yang. As for the eternal realm, I heard that one's life is eternal and endless. I have only read about it from other places, but I have never experienced it myself. Ningcheng and Shen Qinyu's position was not too far from the Sea of Twilight. Ningcheng felt that Shen Qinyu had stopped before he could ask too many questions. We finally landed. This Sea of Twilight is too scary. Ningcheng gave out a sigh. However, a feeling of endless vicissitudes of time surrounded him. The feeling of time flowing away from the perpetual moon lake once again welled up in his heart. Ningcheng's heart skipped a beat. If this continued, his lifespan would end before he could find the twilight sand. How could she casually say such an important thing? Ningcheng looked at Shen Qinyu in surprise. Shen Qinyu explained, I heard that only those who are trapped in the Sea of Twilight can understand the meaning of this sentence. However, don't think that the Sea of Twilight looks like a sunset over the sea. In fact, there is not even a single drop of water in this place. What you see is a combination of time wheels and time wheels. We will have to enter the Sea of Twilight, which is extremely dangerous. If you are not careful, you will end up getting caught by the time wheels. Time would disappear in an instant, and you would have no chance of survival. Bang! A huge impact force erupted, and Ningcheng felt as if his entire body was about to fall apart. However, he knew that he had finally landed on the ground. You also know that the sunset is infinitely beautiful, but it's almost dusk? Shen Qinyu looked at Ningcheng in amazement. Is the perpetual moon Holy Emperor the same as Striking Order Heavenly Emperor, a powerhouse who controls a starry sky? Ningcheng asked. What appeared in front of Ningcheng was a beautiful world, completely different from the grayish and dim atmosphere in the rest of the place. Standing here, Ningcheng felt as if he was standing on the seashore where the sun was about to set. The red sunset glow looked just like a rainbow, forming a rainbow bridge over the distant sea. Although she spoke, Shen Qinyu felt shocked in her heart. She did not think that Ningcheng could feel the flow of time within the time stones. She had entered the time wilderness for 3 years, and had not obtained even a single time stone. Not waiting for Ningcheng to speak, he felt a kind of tearing pain, as a blade light, which he simply could not resist, blasted into his body, followed by a powerful pulling force rolling towards him. Shen Qinyu saw through Ningcheng's thoughts and spoke. As for whether to enter this place or not, you should think about it carefully before we go in. Otherwise, once we go in, we will most likely lose our way and never come out. Shen Qinyu's weak voice arrived. These are the time blade lights and time vortexes. Do not use your celestial essence to resist them. Not only would you not be able to block them, but it would also cause this force to grow even stronger. Although his spiritual consciousness had also been suppressed, it was still many times more powerful compared to 3 meters. After Ning Cheng understood this, he immediately felt relieved. His starry sky's sea of consciousness truly was different. I've naturally heard of this sentence. How did you know about it? Ning Cheng felt even more puzzled than Shen Qinyu. Of course, he knew that it was a poem written by Li Shangyin of the Tang dynasty. Xiangwan felt uncomfortable, so I drove up the ancient plains. The setting sun is infinitely beautiful, but dusk is approaching. He wondered how Shen Qinyu knew about this sentence. What's going on? Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness swept out, only to find that his spiritual consciousness had shrunk from a range of 10 miles to a radius of about 10 feet. Ning Cheng, who was still hesitant, suddenly felt his heart lighten up when he heard Shen Qinyu's words. Along the way, didn't he always seek opportunities amidst dangers? There were countless cultivators in the vast starry skies. How many dangerous opportunities would there be for him to obtain? Ning Cheng promptly stopped resisting, and the violent sweeping force wrapped around Ning Cheng and Shen Qinyu. At this moment, Ning Cheng could not even use his spiritual consciousness. The setting sun is infinitely beautiful, but dusk is approaching. Such a sentence popped up in Ning Cheng's mind for no reason. It was simply too appropriate to describe this place. Shen Qinyu spoke up calmly. The perpetual moon time key is probably the most valuable thing in the time wilderness. The reason why I told you about it is that the time lake exploded, causing the perpetual moon time key to never appear again. When you went into seclusion, I went to the perpetual moon lake once, which is how I came to know about it. Ning Cheng did not want to tell Shen Qinyu that his spiritual consciousness could reach a range of 10 miles. As such, he could only let Shen Qinyu do as she pleased. Ning Cheng quickened his pace, and in just a few dozen breaths, he arrived next to the time stone. Just as Ning Cheng bent down to pick up the time stone, an extreme sense of danger suddenly rose from the bottom of his heart. Ning Cheng did not even think about it, and immediately flew out with Shen Qinyu. In fact, Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness had already detected the time stone. Although it was much smaller than the 3 time stones he obtained, Ning Cheng felt sure that it was a time stone. After speaking, Shen Qinyu stood up and spoke. Let's head to the Sea of Twilight now. If you have any questions, you can ask me on the way. What a beautiful place. The setting sun is infinitely beautiful, but dusk is approaching. After a long time, Ning Cheng spoke up with a sigh. As soon as he thought of it, he spoke up. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.